The captains for the two teams are wandering out to the center of the field. Brandon Hayward, Elijah Israel, Jai Hunley, and Brian Kelly represent the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. For the Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet Indians, they're represented by John Tebow, along with, number 2 for them, Hayden Russell. The other captain is Jovan Gillespie, and the fourth captain is Andrew Myers. Those are the captains for the two teams. Alex Myers cannot be with us tonight, and neither can Mike Sheehan, which is kind of unusual. We're used to having them with us all the time, and hopefully we'll get them back for the Campbell County game. The Dobyns-Bennet Indians have won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. The Wildcats will be receiving the opening kickoff. The Indians will be defending the goal to my right, and we're just about to get underway here from Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School here on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. prepradio.com, and we're going to stream the video later on our YouTube channel. They are not allowing us to stream the game live, but we are taping it, and we will have it for you as soon as the game is over. Brian Bennett is back in the studios. Lee Wexler is doing camera work. Our camera guys down on the field. We've got Josh Frazier. We have Christian Rosas Rodriguez back with us tonight. We also have Alex Oraxa and Matthew Charles. Mark and Shauna Hayes doing our stats. And we're just moments away from this ball game here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. Way up here as we broadcast here, but a beautiful facility, as we've said. A lot better than the old press box they used to have. It's a double-decker stadium here. The current players on the team, I guess the seniors probably would have played here their sophomore year, or actually their freshman year. Their sophomore year and their junior years were all played at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats, as I mentioned, wearing their all-white jerseys with cardinal numerals. The Indians yet to take the field will be wearing their silver pants, more like gray, maroon, and white numerals. The fireworks have gone off. Hopefully we'll have a few fireworks on the field for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. The officials are set, and we're about to have high school football for you here on FM 92.7. My name is David Clary, and I've been up here many times, seen some great ball games over the years. The series stands at 22-22, so something has to give here tonight at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. Ball is put down on the tee. The kicker for them is Titan Thomas. He is aiming toward our right. The Wildcats are moving from right to left. And here is the kickoff of the ball game. It's a squib kick. It's going to be fielded by the Wildcats. That's Jai Hunley picking it up at the 5. Actually, that is Elijah Rogers, and he's going to go right down. Tried to go all the way to his right, and there was no blocking there. He didn't field it cleanly, and by the time he did, the Indians were down there to corral him, and the Wildcats have not great field position. They'll start this drive at the 8-yard line. They're moving right to left here. The Wildcats starting lineups, we'll run those down for you quickly. Offensively, the Wildcats will be starting Ethan Garza. He's 6'1". He will be the quarterback, 160-pound junior. The Wildcats will have DeJavis Dozier, 5'11", 195-pound junior running back in the backfield. The Wildcats will split receivers left and right. Looks like Brandon Hayward's going to go to the far left. Wildcats have a slot man. That is the tight end, Brian Kelly. He goes in motion off to the right with the two receivers in that direction. Here comes the pitch to Dozier. Dozier 10, 15, 20, 25. Makes a cut at the 30. Flags are down, of course, at the 40-yard line. We probably have a block in the back well behind the play. That was a nearly 35-yard run, but there is either a hold. It's going to be holding against the Wildcats. That's tough. It was behind the play. He had already gone past it, and that's a tough break for the Wildcats. Not a great start. A great play for the Wildcats to Javis Dozier. A little option pitch from Ethan Garza, but unfortunately, holding is the call against the Wildcats. As I mentioned, behind the play, and that's just unacceptable. I know Coach Cummings won't like that at all. They back it up to the 5-yard line, and the Wildcats will have it there. First down and 14 yards to go. Just underway, 11:41 to play. First quarter from Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. Now the Wildcats are operating from their own end zone here. as the Wildcats try to get set with Garza, the junior quarterback. And the official blows the whistle, and we'll get started once again. First down, 14 yards to go. The ball is at the 5-yard line. Here comes Elijah Rogers getting it around the end. He gets back the penalty yardage. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go. I think he got up to around the 10-yard line, a little bit beyond that. It'll indeed be a gain of, we'll call it 5. It'll bring up second down, 9 yards to go. 11:18 to play. We're in the first quarter from Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, non-region ball game. Dobyns-Bennet, 2,700 students in this high school. The Wildcats at 1,549. So a much bigger school. The Wildcats trying to compete here tonight. Garza's going to roll and pitch to Dozier. Got a block, turns the corner 10, and moves the ball too close to the 15-yard line. Just couldn't quite get to the edge. He'll be very manageable. He makes it a very manageable third down for the Wildcats, as he's officially going to go down at the 14-yard line. And it'll be for the Wildcats, third down and a long 4 to go for a first down. The bell tolls here at Dobyns-Bennet, 10:36 to play. Wildcats so far have been able to get to the edge on 2 plays, one that was called back. Here comes Garza to pass, cranks it up, fires the pass. It's caught for a first down. A 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down at the 20-yard line. Brandon Hayward goes up for it, grabs it high, pulls it down. First and 10 Wildcats. So the Wildcats overcome the holding penalty to pick up the first down of the ball game. Officially, the ball is down at the 21-yard line. The Wildcats moving right to left in the opening quarter here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. The setting is just fantastic, with a little kind of a hillside and the sun going behind it as we get this game underway. First down, 10 yards to go from the 21-yard line. Hundley comes in motion. Wildcats Ethan Garza running the ball himself is met after a gain of about 2 or 3 right at the 23-yard line. Thought about pitching, did not. It'll be for the Wildcats a modest gain of 2. Second down and 8 yards to go. 9 minutes, 44 seconds to play. We're in the first quarter from Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. They come in at 7-1. The Wildcats are 4-4. 2 receivers split to the right for Ethan Garza. Dozier in the backfield. Movement on the line, nope. The Wildcat Garza looking over to his offensive coordinator and the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Scott Cummings. Second down, we'll call it 8 yards to go. Garza from the shotgun's going to roll and pitch. Here it goes to Dozier. Good block. Cuts the ball across the 30. That's another 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down as he powers his way up to the 34-yard line. First and 10 Wildcats. Second consecutive time the Wildcats have picked up a first down on this drive, getting to the edge. The Wildcats, I think, can get to the edge on this Dobyns-Bennet team. And they have another first down. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. The ball just shy of the 34-yard line. Opening drive. We're 3 minutes into the ball game. The Wildcats, Garza looking over to the sideline. Play clock is down to 15. Coach Cummings signals in the play. Dozier's in the backfield. The Wildcats have 2 receivers split to the left. Elijah Rogers for the Wildcats and Jai Hundley. Wildcats have a tight end in a slot. He comes in motion. That's Brian Kelly. First and 10 Wildcats. This time big handoff up the middle. Not much there. About a 2-yard gain for DeJavis Dozier. Moves the ball across the 35-yard line up to the 36. It'll be for the Wildcats. Second down and 8 yards to go. 8:29 to play here in the first quarter. Just underway from Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. 45th meeting, as I mentioned, between the 2 schools. No score. Wildcats with a split out to the right. 2 receivers to the left. Tight end comes in motion again. Garza fires a pass. Jai Hundley makes a move. Cuts across the 35. Goes down at around the 36. Not much there. It'll be third and long facing the Wildcats. Little screen pass to the near sideline, which is where Dobyns-Bennet has their bench right on our side. We're in the 4th level of this big press box here at Kingsport, as that's the Dobyns-Bennet band. You can probably hear them playing the Tomahawk Chop across the way. Brandon Hayward, Elijah Rogers split to the right. Jai Hundley's out that way as well. The freshman Will Presley will be a receiver split to the left. 7 minutes, 37 seconds to play. We're down to 8 seconds on the play clock. It is third down, 8 yards to go. Play clock is down to 3, 2, and the Wildcats are going to have to call a timeout, or are they going to be penalized? It took too much time. Once again, is it delay a game against the Wildcats? Wildcats didn't break the huddle until about 6 seconds to go, and it is indeed going to be a dead ball foul. It is going to be encroachment against the offense. A 5-yard penalty against the Wildcats. So I guess Oak Ridge lined up offsides. So that hurts their cause. They were down to 0 on the play clock anyway, so they could have taken their chance, their option. Ball's at the 31-yard line, where it is now 3rd down and 13 yards to go. 3 receivers split to the right. Dozier is the lone running back. He drifts off to the right, guards at a pass, in trouble, runs 30, 35. Oh, he could have gotten farther. He went to a slide, a baseball slide. You don't want him hurt, but he could have gotten perhaps a first down. He's going to go down officially at the 37-yard line. They put you down where you officially start sliding, and now the punt team will have to come onto the field for the Wildcats. I think Ethan probably could have gone a little farther if he had elected to. So into the ball game to punt the ball away for the Wildcats will be number 54 for Oak Ridge. That is Brennan Pearson. He is 6'5", 250-pound senior. Got hurt in last week's ball game on that blocked punt, and didn't really practice much all week long this week, but it's good to see him out there. Good snap. Here's the punt. High kick, spiraling over to the right side, taking a good Oak Ridge bounce. Is going to roll inside the 20 and officially roll dead at the 18-yard line, where it is down by Nehemiah Elmore and Jarius Hundley. And that is where Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet will have it. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Starting lineups for the offense for the Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet Indians. The quarterback is Jake Carson. The wide receivers are Gillespie, Russell, and Dixon. The running back is Braden Simpson. The tackles are Harris and Cranford. The center is Ford. The right guard is Brown. Right tackle is Tebow, and Mullins is the tight end. 1st down, 10 yards to go. I'll run down the Oak Ridge defense in a moment. 1st down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the Dobyns-Bennet 17. Hand off to the running back, and he's in the secondary. He's taking it for a touchdown. 45, 50, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Flags are down at the line of scrimmage. There is a flag, ladies and gentlemen, at the line of scrimmage, and it looks like this one's coming back. Their quarterback's not even moving. He's still in the backfield. So both teams on their opening plays get substantial drives and runs. Both teams called for holding on their first play. And it'll be not a touchdown. It'll be a penalty against Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. 5 minutes, 57 seconds to play here in the first quarter. What a run, though. He took that ball from the 18-yard line all the way in for a score, and I don't think one single Wildcat touched him. Defensively, the Wildcats have Tyler Pickens starting at defensive end along with Elijah Bradley. LaMichael Galloway is the nose. Rogers, Kelly, Terrence Anthony, Vashawn Knowles, Grayson Hope, Brandon Hayward, Price Davis, and Dallas Frent, the other starters for the Wildcats. The penalty yardage is a step back to the 15-yard line, where it's now 1st down and 12 yards to go for the Indians. They're in with a single running back. They've got 2 receivers split to the right. Hand off to the back. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, moves the ball forward for a gain of about 2. At that point, he is tackled at around the 19-yard line. Stop is made by the Wildcats. I think it was Waters, Tim Waters, 6 foot, 269-pound freshman, getting the start instead of LaMichael Galloway at the nose position. They're going to give him a gain of 3. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. They split out receivers, 3 of them to the right. They have 1 lone running back. They've got a slot man right in front of the running back to the left of the quarterback. 1 receiver to his left. Hand off to the running back, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage, and he moves the ball forward for a gain of 2 or 3, not much more than that. It'll bring up 3rd down facing Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. 5:08 to play here in the first quarter of a fast-moving quarter here when we have no score. The Wildcats and the Dobyns-Bennet Indians. Officially, the line of scrimmage is the 23.5-yard line. They are moving left to right. They need a long 4 to get a 1st down. They need to get the ball up to around the 28-yard line of Kingsport. 2 receivers split to the right for the Indians, 2 to the left, 1 lone running back. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Quarterback to pass. Lots of time, goes deep, pass is overthrown, incomplete. Wildcats had a breakdown in the secondary. I think Brandon Hayward was the guy who was supposed to be covering, but nobody picked up that guy. That would have been a touchdown again. He had broken off his defense if he indeed was the guy that was supposed to be defending that receiver. It's 4th down, and we're lucky that pass was overthrown and incomplete. So the Wildcats pick up a couple of first downs. Dobyns-Bennet fails to pick up a first down on their opening drive, and they're punting to Oak Ridge. Hayward standing back at his own 45-yard line. 4:34 to play. Fourth down, 4 yards to go. Don't want to drop off sides. Here comes the snap, the punt. It's away, it's high, wobbly kick, fielded by Oak Ridge at the 35-yard line, and Brandon Hayward goes down at around the 37, and that is where Oak Ridge will take it. First down and 10 yards to go. So neither team able to get points on the board on their opening drives. The Wildcats were able to pick up a couple of first downs. Dobyns-Bennet had a touchdown called back because of a holding penalty. Dobyns-Bennet band across the way. They take up so much space. Kind of a small turnout of Oak Ridge fans. I mean, it's a really small turnout of Oak Ridge fans. Maybe the smallest I've ever seen here at Kingsport. First down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. Two receivers split to the right, two to the left. Quarterback is Ethan Garza. Jai Hunley is now in the backfield. I'll set the lineman in a moment. I didn't get a chance to do that on their opening drive. First down, 10, the ball at the Oak Ridge 37-yard line. Ethan Garza at quarterback. Hands it, Jai Hunley. Jai Hunley runs into his own man and is tackled at the line of scrimmage. The Wildcat tackles are Cooper Williams, and for the Wildcats, it looks like Lane Malcody. The guards are Elijah Israel and Austin Hill. The center is Jermaine Blair. The wide receivers tonight to start the ball game: Brandon Hayward, Elijah Rogers, Izzy Mitchell, and Jai Hunley. The running back, the Javis Dozier, and as I mentioned, the quarterback is Ethan Garza. Second down, 9 yards to go. Ethan to pass. Fires a pass, incomplete. Intended out here to Elijah. Looked like some miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver, and now it's third down and 9 yards to go. Clock is stopped here, 3:52 to play. We've yet to take a timeout since we've come back, and we almost are through the first quarter in a very fast-moving ball game here from Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. Two teams have each won 22 games. 22 wins for the Wildcats, 22 wins for Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, and as I mentioned, this is the 45th time they've played. Great rivalry between these two big schools. Receivers left and right for the Wildcats. Here comes the handoff to Armani Rimbert. Armani tries to get to the line of scrimmage, and that's as far as he goes. The play was doomed from the beginning. There was just no room for Armani to go. He took the handoff, reversed his course, came back to his right. There was nothing but maroon shirts there, and the Wildcats are going to lose a yard on that play. So it'll be fourth down and 10. So no points on the board here. We had a touchdown wiped off. Kingsport had one because of a holding penalty. But they're going to get the ball back once again, and Brennan Pearson is going to punt the ball away for the second time tonight. He's averaging 39 yards per punt on the year. He's got the three protectors protecting him back there. They don't look like they're going to come in with a full rush on him. They've got a couple guys back. They're not going to even rush him at all, and Brennan's going to get the punt away. It's high, wobbly, spiral. Fair catch is signaled for and made at the 29-yard line of Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, and that is where the Indians will take over. First down and 10 yards to go. They're wearing their maroon jerseys with their gray pants. The Wildcats wearing their all-white pants with white football jerseys, cardinal numerals. Of course, the cardinal helmet with the distinctive OR label on it. The Dobyns-Bennet Indians coming to the line for their second drive of the ball game. They'll have one lone receiver split to the left. Coverage on him by Brandon Hayward. They've had a couple wide open guys on that side. Let's see what Oak Ridge can do. The Wildcats showing blitz right here. First and 10. Handoff goes to the running back, and he's in the secondary again until he's knocked down hard. Wildcats drop him just like a bullet. I thought he was going to get a whole lot more yardage than he did, but just right out of nowhere, the Wildcats came up strong and fast with Price Davis, who just cut him down at his knees, and he went down at the 35-yard line. It was a gain of 7 on the play, so it'll bring up second down and 3 yards to go. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to play. We're in the first quarter of a scoreless ball game. 3 receivers split to the right for the Indians. They're at the 35-yard line, their own. Handoff once again to the back, and he's trying to get wide. He breaks 3 tackles, moves the ball forward for a first down. Wildcats had him at the line of scrimmage, couldn't get him down, and it'll be first and 10 for Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, officially at the 39-yard line. That is their first down of the ball game. We'll have all the statistics at halftime. Mark and Shauna Hayes will provide those for us. Ball is at the 39. First down, 10 yards to go. 2:07 to play here in this Opening quarter here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. Once again, 2 receivers split to the right. Wildcats got to creep up a little bit on coverage there. Quarterback to pass across the way. Pass is going to be caught wide open in the flats, and they tackle him at the 45-yard line. Wildcats gave him about 5 yards of a cushion out there in the flats, and he's able to just connect with an easy pitch and catch officially at the 46-yard line. That is a gain of 7. Second down, 3 yards to go. The ball's at the 46-yard line. 1:49 to play. He went out of bounds, stopping the clock, and the first down stopped the chains momentarily anyway, but he did go out of bounds. 2 receivers split to the left once again. Now they've got a slot man to the left, so they've got everybody on the left side as receivers. Now one comes back towards the right, and flags are down. Going to have to check. They might not have had enough people on the line. I think that's going to be the case. They're going to penalize the Indians, and it's going to be a dead ball foul. It's going to be false start against Kingsport. So that's a 5-yard step off. It'll be second down and 8 yards to go. 1:49 to play first quarter on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. Next week, the Wildcats conclude their regular season against the Campbell County Cougars up in Campbell County Big Region ball game. The Wildcats playing for a home playoff ball game the following week. Second down, 8 yards to go. Handoff straight up the middle. Boom. Nothing. The Wildcats drop him right at the 40-yard line. It'll be for Dobyns-Bennet. Third down, it looks like 9 yards to go for them. They've had their most success when they've gone around the ends. They haven't had a whole lot of success early on, at least, right up the middle. Let's see what they do here. Passing situation for them as they have the ball at the 40-yard line. 1:26 to end counting here in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score. 2 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left once again. Shotgun, 1 lone running back. They need 9 for a first down. Ball's at the 40-yard line. Their quarterback back to pass all day. Cross the way pass, dropped. The Wildcats will get the ball back. The pass was really there, hit him in the hands. I think if the Wildcats had made the tackle where he made the catch, he wouldn't have gotten the first down anyway. It was right at the 45. They needed to get to the 49, but he dropped it anyway, and the Wildcats should get the ball back. So we have played almost 11 minutes of football, and neither team able to score. The Wildcats have been able to move the ball actually on their first drive quite successfully. Let's see what we can do here. Fourth down, 9 yards to go. Hayward back to receive the kick. There was movement on the line again by Dobyns-Bennet, and that might cost them another 5 yards. Official coming over to say, and they are backing up. Wildcats had put 10 on the line. The only person back was Brandon Hayward standing back at the 30-yard line. Dobyns-Bennet not sharp here in the early going. This is a 7-1 team. Their only loss to Greenville, 21-20. And everybody who's associated with Oak Ridge knows how badly Oak Ridge was defeated by Greenville at our place. Fourth down, 14 yards to go. Once again, 10 on the line. Snap is good. Punt is blocked by the Wildcats. It's going to be a short. The Wildcats have got to get away from it. It's going to go rolling at around the 36-yard line. The Wildcats got in there and blocked the kick. He still got a good roll off of it, and I don't know if it was Dallas Friend or who it was. Wildcats, I couldn't quite check the number who got in there. It might have been, for the Wildcats, Terrence Anthony. Could have been number, I couldn't quite see the number, and I apologize for that. It might have been, well, I just can't tell you. Either way, the Wildcats are going to have it at the 36-yard line. Let's see if we can get some points on the board here. 52.7 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and we have a scoreless ball game. Dobyns-Bennet band's about to play here, so it's about to get loud, ladies and gentlemen. Ethan Garza waiting for a player to get onto the field. Jai Hunley, he splits out to the right. 2 receivers to the left. Garza, the pitch. Dozier 35. Dozier to the 40. Moves the ball forward for a gain of 5 on first down. Wildcats will have it second down and closer to 6 yards to go. They're going to give him a gain of 4. We'll call it second down, along 5 to go. The ball right at the 40-yard line. 34 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. Neither team has scored here. The whistle will probably be the final play of the first quarter unless we have an incompletion or a first down, because we're down to 24 seconds to play in the quarter, and we're down to 15 seconds on the play clock. Elijah Rogers, Jai Hunley splitting off to the right. To the left side is receiver Brandon Hayward. Tight end Brian Kelly. The Javis Dozier in the backfield. Man comes in motion. Garza's got the handoff to Dozier. Dozier no place to go. He's going to be tackled at the 42, and indeed that is the final play of the first quarter. We've played 1 quarter of football here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. No score, Oak Ridge, and Kingsport will be back to Kingsport in 60 seconds. That is the Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet band playing across the field. We have no scores. We move on to the second quarter here. The Wildcats now will be moving left to right. Oak Ridge will have it 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Dobyns-Bennet had a touchdown called back because of a holding penalty. The Wildcats, in my personal opinion, just by observing the first quarter, I think we can get to the edge on these guys. We've tried the middle of the last couple. Let's see what they do on this 3rd down and 5-yard situation at the 41-yard line. Yards is going to pass, has all day, fires it to Hayward, incomplete. Brandon wanted a flag, none was forthcoming. Actually, the guy was step for step with him. Brandon just couldn't get open, and no flag down. The Wildcats will be forced to punt. So it'll be Brennan Pearson for the 3rd time in the ball game to punt the ball away for the Wildcats. Let's see who they drop back. Looks like number 0 is going to be dropping back for them. And let's see, that might have been Gillespie. It is. And one other guy, Brennan Pearson, will be punting. Good snap. Lots of pressure. He gets the punt away. It's high. It's not very long. It's going to be fielded and fumbled. Ball's on the ground, picked up by the Indians right at the 27-yard line. He tried to field it and then dropped it. And the Wildcats tried to get on it, just couldn't quite get to it. It'll be Kingsport, 1st down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the 27-yard line. Opening play of the second quarter was a punt by Brennan Pearson, and back on offense will go the Indians once again. Quarterback for them is Jake Carson, and he stands in number 13. Looking at his size here, Jake Carson for them is 6'6", 223 pounds. He's got 3 receivers split to the right, including number 3 for them, Peyton Brooks. Now he's a running back behind him. Wildcats have everybody on the front, and he gets the handoff, and he hits the line of scrimmage and goes down after a gain of about 2. He's tackled at the 30-yard line. Wildcats, Brian Kelly. Wildcats also make the stop at Grayson Hope and one other Wildcat. It'll be for the Indians. 2nd down, we'll call it 8 yards to go. 11:23 to play. We have no score here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. My name is David Clary, along with Lee Wexler and a host of camera guys down on the field. Josh Frazier, Matthew Charles, Alex Boraxa, Christian Rosas Rodriguez. Our statisticians are Mark and Shauna Hayes. Brian Bennett back of the station. 2nd down, a long 7 to go for a first. Back to pass, pressured, quarterback goes deep, wide open again. Touchdown. That is the 2nd time, and actually the 3rd time, that they have allowed this young man to get wide open, and I'm talking about 10, 15 yards, and nobody even close to him. And Dobyns-Bennet is on the board with 10:54 to play here in this second quarter. And the Wildcats have got to shore up the secondary there, because that was absolutely an easy pitch and catch for Dobyns-Bennet, and they lead Oak Ridge 6-0 with 10:54 to play here in the first half. I don't know how anybody could get so wide open. Here's the kick. It's on its way. It's up, and the kick is good. 7-0. Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. We'll take another break. We'll be back with the Kingsport kickoff in 60 seconds. Welcome back once again to Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. Revolting development has just taken place here. The Indians have scored on a 70-yard touchdown run or pass, and the Wildcats trail it now by a score of 7-0. 10:54 to play here in the first half, and Dobyns-Bennet is kicking off once again. Wildcats giving up an easy score. Here's a high end-over-end kick, fielded by the Wildcats at the 5. Coming up the field to the 10, and down he goes at the 13-yard line, and that is where Oak Ridge will take over. First down and 10 yards to go. Kickoff return by Jai Hunley. The Wildcats, I think, can go outside on these guys. The Wildcats have been trying the middle as of late, and let's see what they can do here. The first drive, they were able to get wide on these Indians. Let's see what they do on this drive. Will Presley is going to be a wide receiver splitting out to the right side of the quarterback. Hunley's in the backfield, so is DeJavis Dozier. Side by side they are. Two receivers split to the left for Ethan Garza. First down, 10 yards to go. Some movement on the line by Dobyns-Bennet, but not a penalty. Play clock is down to 10. Garza changes the play. First down, 10 yards to go. Play clock is down to 5. Garza pitches out to the corner. Wildcats turn the corner, 15, and driven out of bounds hard. That's DeJavis Dozier out of bounds at the 18-yard line. It's a positive gain on the play. Telling you, they can get outside on these guys. Hopefully they'll stick with that game plan here. Second down and 6 yards to go. It's a gain of 4 on the play. The Wildcats have Connor Cummings in as a receiver. The Wildcats also have Jai Hunley, Brandon Hayward, Will Presley. Wildcats, Dozier is the lone running back. Ethan Garza at quarterback. 10:42 to play here in the first half. 7-0 Kingsport on top of the Wildcats. Second down, we'll call it 6 yards to go. Dozier comes in motion. Garza to pass. Across the way, pass is caught for a 10-back of Oak Ridge first down across the 30. Up to the 35-yard line. Connor Cummings on the reception, but there is a flag down on the play. We'll see what we've got here. Seen some big plays called back because of penalties. We've got pass interference, offensive pass interference called against the Wildcats. Joe Gaddis will probably remember the 1996 ball game up here when our dear former Wildcat, now departed Bill Brock, was called on a couple of offensive pass interference, which were really bogus. Shadow calls. Didn't happen. It happened up here at Kingsport back in 1996. But pass interference is the call, and they're going to step yardage off. Now they're going to talk about it to see who indeed or where the ball should be spotted. The referee comes over to talk to the umpire. The umpire is the guy who's going to move the ball. Is yet to be moved. He wasn't sure where the line of scrimmage was or where they should put it down. They are going to step it off. So the Wildcats have had a big play right there negated. Both teams have had big plays negated by this officiating crew. 10:35 to play here in the first half. 7-0 Kingsport. The Wildcats have been able to get out of poor field position in this first quarter. On the first drive they were able to. The Wildcats have been backed up since. Second down, we'll call it 16 yards to go. The ball now resting at the Wildcat 9-yard line. Two receivers split to the right, tight end. Garza to pass. Pass is going to be incomplete. Miscommunication again. The Wildcats, Tyler Pickens is in there at tight end, and I'm not sure who that pass was intended for. It might have been for Izzy Mitchell. Not sure, but there was some major miscommunication right there because that one just fell harmlessly to the turf and almost could have been picked off. It's now third down and 15. Now Pickens is going to come out of the ball game at tight end. Back in the ball game will come Will Presley. He'll be a receiver split to the right. The Wildcats need a big play. They need to get the ball up to the 25-yard line for a first down. Field position, not great, obviously. Third and 15. Garza all day. Cranks it deep. There's the man. Passes there. Caught for a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. A beautiful catch by, it looked like Elijah Rogers for the Wildcats. The Wildcats out of that bad field position. They've got it first and 10. The ball officially is going to be at the 39-yard line. Play is halted. Don't tell me. Don't tell me there's another penalty. They're going to come over and talk about something as they move the chains. Not sure why he stopped play. I didn't see a timeout asked for. I guess there was one asked for here. I didn't see who called it. 10 minutes, 5 seconds to play. There was no timeout called. No timeout called, so both teams are going to come back out on the field. Not exactly sure why he stopped play there. Both teams got a chance to wander over toward their respective benches. What a beautiful throw and catch, though, by Ethan Garza to Elijah Rogers. The Wildcats have it on the Tim Bank first down at the 39-yard line of Oak Ridge. 10:05 to play. Oak Ridge down 7-0 as we play here at Kingsport. Dobyns-Bennet band playing down in front of us once again. Wildcats first down 10. Play clock is down to 4. Garza to pass. Across the way. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage. He was intending his pass that time for what looks like Pendergrass. It'll be incomplete. Second down and 10 yards to go. Exactly 10 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Only a 7-0 ball game. Kingsport on top. Will Presley is a receiver. He's on the right side. Almani Rimbert is a receiver. He'll be on the right side. Now Presley switches over to the far sideline, which is the Oak Ridge sideline. Pendergrass and Cummings are split to the right side. The Wildcats Garza with one running back. Second down, 10 yards to go from the 39-yard line of the Wildcats. Man comes in motion. Garza to pass. Goes deep, floats it down the way. Pass is overthrown, incomplete. Wildcats have got to continue with their routes. It was intended for Almani Rimbert. Looked like he kind of slowed down as he hit the hash mark. The pass was overthrown, incomplete. He threw it to a spot which was around the 30-yard line of the Indians, but the ball just fell harmlessly to the artificial surface here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. 9:54 to play in the first half. Wildcats have to pick up another big third down conversion here. It's third down and 10. The ball at the 39-yard line. Dozier is in the backfield. Three receivers split to the right. One lone man to the left. Ethan Garza, low snap. Rolls to his right. Might run it. Looks, fires. Pass, caught. Short of a first down, though. Connor Cummings makes the catch at the 48-yard line. It's shy by 1 yard. Will Coach Cummings roll the dice here? The spot is right at the... Oh, he got a bad spot. That's a terrible spot. And the Oak Ridge fans don't like it. It's back at the 47-yard line. He was farther up the field than that. So the Wildcats will be forced to punt. So that kind of takes it out of the hands of Coach Cummings. And the Wildcats do still have their offense on the field here. Wildcats have a single man split to the left side. Dobyns-Bennet jumped off sides. Dobyns-Bennet jumped across the line. That should be a 5-yard step off against them, and that'll give Oak Ridge a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down. Dobyns-Bennet jumped across the line. And indeed, dead ball foul, encroachment, Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, first and 10 Wildcats in Dobyns-Bennet territory. So the Wildcats' cadence by Ethan Garza caused them to jump across the line. The Wildcats have it at the 47-yard line of Kingsport. 9:16 and counting here in the first half, 7-0. The Wildcats with that closed-in formation. Wildcats power football, and there's Dozier powering at 40, 35, 30, down to the 25, down to the 20-yard line, and a late flag once again thrown behind the play. The Wildcats pick up about 30 yards, and the 75-year-old official calls a holding against the Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet against the Wildcats. My apologies. So, and Brandon Hayward is talking to the official, but because we just got a 20-yard gain right there, we get a holding call. That would have been a great gain. So they're backing it up. I don't know if it happened, but it seems a little bit suspicious that this older gentleman who is the official has called several penalties when the Wildcats have had big plays. 7-0 our score. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying it happened. It's my opinion. First down and long. Guards at a pass. Rolling. In trouble. Going to dump it over to Pickens. The pass is incomplete. Tried to shovel it to his tight end, Tyler Pickens. They got great pressure that time. Wildcats down 7-0. 8 minutes, 49 seconds to play. Ball is at the 45-yard line. Seems like Wildcats get a big play, and then something happens bad. It'll be 2nd and 10. The Wildcats are going to get the jumbo package out of there. And I don't know why they needed it at midfield anyway. 8:49 to play. The Wildcats will get their receivers back in. It's just better to spread the field. They did get a good run by Dozier, but the trailing official is going to call things, so got to be careful with that. Dozier is in the backfield. Cummings, Hundley, and Hayward are split out to the far left. The Wildcats have one receiver here to the right. I think that's Presley. Plenty of time to pass. Fires across the way. Passes are going to be incomplete. Wildcats, the intended receiver is Elijah Rogers, and he kind of slowed down a little bit once again. Wildcats got to continue to run their routes. The pass was thrown nicely, and could have been a long game for the Wildcats, but it's incomplete. And once again, it's third down, and it looks like 18 yards to go after that holding penalty. We'll see what he calls this time. 8 minutes, 42 seconds to play here in the second period. 7-0 Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. I'm all over the guy because he's the guy calling the penalties. 3 receivers split to the left. Garza, straight drop, fires a pass. It's going to be caught. Boy, Jai Hunley did make the reception, but there was no blocking out there. There were 2 maroon shirts that just came in and killed him right at the point of the catch. If he indeed caught it, he got blasted. I'll just tell you that. Wildcats are punting again. So after getting the ball on a nice run by Dozier all the way to the 25-yard line, only to be taken away from them, the Wildcats are punting again. 7-0 our score. 8:11 to play here in the first half from Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. Wildcat offense has been able to move it at times. Oh, he hits it off the side of his foot. The punt is returned up for about a yard, up to around the 27-yard line, where Hundley and Price Palmer are there for the stop, officially at the 28-yard line. All I know is our secondary better guard the guy deep in the secondary. We have given them a 15 to 20-yard cushion on their last touchdown and had one that was just overthrown. So the Wildcats have got to do a better job in the secondary. Wildcats have Izzy Mitchell. They have Elijah Rogers. They have Davis. They have Terrence Anthony, along with, looks like, LaMichael Galloway, Brian Kelly. Wildcats have LaShawn Knowles in the ballgame. 7-0 Kingsport, 7:59 to play. Got to guard him in the secondary. Here they come to the line. Quarterback, once again for them, is number 13. He's going to hand it to the running back, and he is dropped by Elijah Bradley. Elijah Bradley hitting behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 yards to go. The quarterback is Jake Carson. I mentioned he's tall. 6'6", they list him at 223 pounds. Play is halted again. Looks like one of the Wildcats a little slow to get up, and we've got an injury timeout, and Brian Leffler will trot onto the field. 7-0 Kingsport. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back once again to Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge trailing 7-0. The injured Wildcat, Elijah Bradley, who made the tackle, comes off on his own power. I don't know if he was cramping. I know Brian Leffler had to go out there to attend to him. It was a loss of a yard on the play. 2nd down, 11 yards to go. 7:40 to play first half. 22-22. That's the Wildcats' record against Kingsport. Obviously, the Indians are 22-22 against the Wildcats. We have been beaten more times by Kingsport than anybody has ever beaten Oak Ridge. Kingsport has lost more times to Oak Ridge than anybody. It's a great series. 2nd down, 11 yards to go. Carson the pass, batted away and incomplete. Grayson Hope got his hand up on it, swatted it, and kind of altered the trajectory of the pass, and the receiver couldn't quite hold on to it. It'll be 3rd down and 11 yards to go. Nice play by the senior Grayson Hope for the Wildcats. Grayson is, been a starter. Actually started the first couple of ball games a year ago before getting injured and was out for the year. Grayson is 5'11", 190-pounder. He knocks it down. The Wildcats have Tyler Pickens in the ball game. Wildcats have Ben Birdwell now playing the right defensive end position. It is 3rd down and 11. Big play for the Wildcats here, hoping to get the ball back. Wildcats showing blitz on Carson. Here's the pass. He's out of the backfield. The Wildcats, Grayson Hope grabs him. The Wildcats drop him, and they'll not get a first down. The Wildcats finally bring him down at around the 36. It'll be 4th down and 5 yards to go. Let's see what they elect to do. They're going to bring the punt team in. Wildcats slowed him down. A nice play call by Dobyns-Bennet, a little screen pass. The Wildcats came in with a blitz, but Grayson, he didn't get him down, but he slowed him down enough for other Wildcats to come and help him out, and Dobyns-Bennet will punt. 6:54 to play here in the first half. 7-0 is the score. Tyler Pickens is one of the guys who tries to make the tackle. He's finished off, though, by Brian Kelly, of course. 4th down and 5. The Wildcats don't want to jump off sides here. They almost did. Here's the punt. It's away, and roughing the kicker is going to be called against the Wildcats. Wildcats got in there, and they made contact with him. Didn't knock him down. There's some pushing and shoving. They forced him to punt, but the Wildcats went for the block, and the Wildcats, I think, might have been number 8 who came in there for the Wildcats and just bumped him, and there wasn't much contact at all, I can tell you that, but you know who. He's making the call, and it's going to be roughing the kicker. So, same guy. There was contact. I'm not saying there wasn't, but it was not substantial enough to really be a personal foul. It just kind of bumped him, but we're on the road, and you don't typically get the calls up here. And this one guy in particular, he's done everything. They didn't know how to. They marched the penalty yardage off. He marched it across the 50-yard line. The umpire doesn't know how to spot the ball. He had it across the 50-yard line. He had to walk it all the way back to the 38-yard line where it is. Now the referee is having to run over to get his flag, which he dropped at the 23-yard line, and they put it down at the 28. The umpire had no idea where to spot the ball. He had no idea. He had walked it across the 50-yard line and had to walk it all the way back to the 38 where it's 1st down and 10 yards to go. 6 minutes, 28 seconds to play here in the first half. Dobyns-Bennet on top of Oak Ridge by a score of 7-0. As we broadcast here from the 4th level here at the home side here. It's a beautiful facility. Here's the pitch. Movement on the line of scrimmage. That's going to cost them 5 yards. Dobyns-Bennet really not sharp, honestly, offensively. They have had some procedural calls. They've had some offside penalties. And it is going to be against the Wildcats this time. Must have been some movement across the line there. It'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Wildcats. And I did see the movement, so I don't question that one at all. That was called by the line judge anyway. 1st down and 5 yards to go. 6:27 to play here in the first half in a 7-0 ball game. They split out to the right side wide. Hayden Russell and one other receiver. They've got 2 here to the near sideline. Quarterback, the 6-footer, 6'6" quarterback. He's going to hand it to the running back, and he finds a little bit of room. He's tripped up by Elijah Bradley and one other Wildcat here right at around the 46-yard line, and that other Wildcat is slow to get up. I can't quite see the number. He is spinning and turning in a lot of pain, and the Wildcat trainer, Brian Leffler, is going to come back out on the field once again. 7-0 our score. We're in the second quarter. 6 minutes, 13 seconds to play. We're in the second period. We'll take a quick break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Dobyns-Bennet in 60 seconds. 2nd down, 2 yards to go for Dobyns-Bennet. The ball is at the 46-yard line. Man comes in motion. Movement across the line again by the Wildcats. That's going to be a 5-yard step off. Welcome back to Kingsport. Dobyns-Bennet, the injured Wildcat, Bashawn Knowles, goes off the field on his own power. They ran a play, and the Wildcats, right before they snapped it, jumped offside, so it's a 1st down for Kingsport. The ball is at the Oak Ridge 49-yard line. 5:55 to play in the first half. 7-0 Kingsport in the lead. 4-man front for the Wildcats. The Wildcats have had a couple of injuries, but they don't seem to be that serious. Handoff goes to the running back, and he is stuck hard right at the 47-yard line. Brian Kelly Waters for the Wildcats. Looks like one other player for Oak Ridge, Elijah Bradley. And Terrence Anthony all around the play. The Wildcats have Izzy Mitchell in the secondary, Brandon Hayward. Wildcats, let's see, Elijah Rogers. It looks like a different safety in there as well. Gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. 5:17 to play in the first half, and a low-scoring ball game. 7-0. Dobyns-Bennet, a 70-yard touchdown. That's the only scoring we've had. 2 receivers for them, split to the right. 1 lone man to the left. Single coverage on him. Running back right up the middle, and he powers forward for what appears to be close to a first down. And then Blakely right at around the 40-yard line. One of their linemen goes tumbling over the top of one of our guys. The spot is not good. I thought he got farther than he did. They're going to put him down at the 42-yard line. It is 3rd down and 2.5 yards to go. 4:40 to play in the first half and a 7-0 ball game. The Wildcats have Knowles back in the ball game, so he was only out for one play. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Looking over to the sideline once again, the quarterback, Jake Carson. One lone running back behind him, and he's going to hand it to him. He's trying to get wide, and he is not going to get outside, and a flag goes down. We're going to have a hold against Dobyns-Bennet. We're going to get a hold right at around the 45-yard line, and he just basically tackled the Wildcat. It is holding Kingsport. Big play right there for the Indians, so that's going to back them up. It's going to be 3rd and long, as it was right at the line of scrimmage. It's a 10-yard penalty. Let's see, the umpire, let's see if he spots it right this time. He puts it down at the 46-yard line. It'll be for Kingsport. 3rd down, 14 yards to go, 4:17 to play in the first half in a 7-0 ball game. Very low scoring. A lot different from what I expected. Honestly, the Wildcats, with the exception of the long plays, one for a touchdown, one called back, most of the time it's been kind of a grinded out kind of a game. As here come the Indians to the line. The ball is at their own 46 after the holding penalty. 2 receivers split to the right, 1 lone man to the left. That man comes in motion to the right. Carson back to pass all day. Screen pass caught. And they're going to move the ball up the field. Tackle is not made. They've got a touchdown. Great play call. Touchdown, Kingsport. Little inside screen. The Wildcats bit on it. They allowed the rush to come in strong, and it was everybody. They all came in. Quarterback did a great job, just dumped it over the 5 or 6 or 7 white shirts, and then once he got past that over the top, the pass over the top, it was an easy touchdown. The Wildcats are down 13-0. 3 minutes, 41 seconds to play, so great play call there by Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. Great play call. They'll go for the extra point. Ball is down, the kick is up. It's angling to the right side, but it is good. 14-0. Kingsport leads Oak Ridge. We got to get the offense going. We got to get points here. They'll have 3 minutes and 41 seconds to do it here in the first half. 14-0 Kingsport, back in 60 seconds. Welcome back once again to Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. My name is David Clary. We're live on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. We are taping this ball game, and we will have a live stream. You can watch it immediately after the ball game is over. They're not allowing us to do it live. Let's see what Oak Ridge can do offensively in the final 3:41. Here's the kickoff angling off to the sideline. It's going to be a touchback, and the Wildcats will get it at the 20-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 yards to go. They have 3 minutes and 41 seconds to get down the field. The Wildcats have all 3 of their timeouts. The Indians on the board, a 70-yard touchdown pass, and just a moment ago, just a thing of beauty, little inside screen. The Wildcats, all of them bid on it. I mean, they came in with a full rush. He just dumped it over the top of them, and he just took it in for a long touchdown over 50 yards. And let's see what the Wildcats is, see if Coach Cummings, he's got a lot of time here. I don't think he'll be conservative. We've gotten big plays, but we've been shooting ourselves in the foot, or somebody has shot us in the foot here. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 20-yard line. Hundley comes in motion, guards at a pass. Across the way pass is incomplete. Wildcats had an opportunity to catch that one. I think the catch was not made by Will Presley, and it's going to be 2nd and 10. It would have been close to a first down. He just couldn't quite hold on to it. As he tried to make the reception, he was popped by an Indian. It'll be 2nd and 10. 3:37 to play. Now you run the risk of giving the ball back to Dobyns-Bennet unless you can pick up a first down. Let's see what they can do. Cummings and Rogers split to the right of the quarterback. The Wildcats have 1 man to the left. Here comes pressure. Here's a screen back to Jai Hundley, 25 to the 30-yard line, and not quite. He's tackled. I thought he was going to get farther than that. It was a nice play. He rolled out to his right. Dobyns-Bennet came in strong with a pass rush, and he just dumped it over the top, and Jai caught it. But the Wildcats are now faced with 3rd and a yard. 3:16 to play. The Wildcats need a first down desperately. Let's see if they get Dozier back in the ballgame. Wildcats are going to come in with the jumbo package. That means lots of tight ends. The Wildcats need 1 yard for a first down. Garza will hand it off to Hundley, and he has the first down, but there is a flag down on the play. We only needed 1 yard, so inevitably it's going to go against us. We'll see, though. I shouldn't have said that. I've been saying things like that all night. I should be nicer. My New Year's resolution come January 1st is to be nice to officials. Be nice to football officials and basketball officials. Illegal procedure against Oak Ridge. Wildcats came in strong. Now it's 3rd and 6. And official talking over with Oak Ridge, the Wildcat players are wanting to know what they did. Clock is stopped at 2:58 to play. And they haven't marked it off yet. This is, all across the state of Tennessee, there are all kinds of need for officials, and I think obviously by looking at some of the guys down here, they look pretty inexperienced, to be honest with you. Not saying they're bad. I'm just saying just by the way they're spotting the ball and whether they're looking at the older official to tell them what to do, it looks like we've got an inexperienced group here. Now the Wildcats, they got to get the jumbo package out. A little slow getting them out. Play clock is down to 17. The Wildcats are going to come up 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Play clock is down to 12. Coach Cummings signaling in the play. Guards has got it 9 seconds on the play clock. Down to 6 seconds on the play clock. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He gets the snap. He dumps it out of the backfield. He made a cut at the 25. Should have stayed outside. Jai tried to go back inside. He had the sideline. That is something we have had the outside all night long, but Jai elected, once he caught it, to cut back to the inside. We really needed to get him out of bounds anyway, but there was more yardage out there. Jai didn't make many mistakes that time. I think he should have stayed outside. That would have been a first down and could have gotten out of bounds to stop the clock. But instead, it's now 4th down. The Wildcats are going to give them great field position. The Wildcats, with 1:58 to play, go nowhere. That illegal formation penalty killed them, and that's been the case most of the season. Very short punt by Brennan. Fields it right at the 42-yard line of Kingsport-Dobyns-Bennet. We cannot allow them to score again. We're down 14-0. We haven't even sniffed the goal line. We did get the ball inside the 25 on a play that was called back. But other than that, we haven't been able to move the ball. Field position, key penalties at the wrong times have hurt the Wildcats. That's been the story. But defensively, with the exception of a couple breakdowns on the long touchdown pass and that little middle screen that was just a thing of beauty just a moment ago, the Wildcat defense has really been pretty solid. They need to stop right here. They cannot allow the Indians to go up 3 scores here. 1:45 to play. They're going to throw deep. The man comes in motion. Carson's going to pass. Goes deep. Man there. Pass is caught inside the 25-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Officially at the 23-yard line. Not bad coverage, to be honest with you. Not bad coverage at all. He put it on him right on the sideline. Just a beautiful pass here. We know they're going to pass here. We know it. We know they're going to pass as they've been able to move the ball. Not so successfully on the ground, but they have been able to move the ball through the air. 97 seconds to play. They have it. First down, 10 yards to go at the Oak Ridge 22-yard line. 14-0 is our score. The Wildcats trailing Kingsport. The offense unable to move the ball, giving them great field position. Carson to pass again. Pressured a little bit this time. Pass across the middle. Incomplete. Elijah Rogers defending on that one. It's 2nd down and 10. Really another nice play. I like the play calling of their passing game here. The Kingsport Indians, just in their quarterback, has just put it right where he's wanted to most of the night. That one a little bit ahead of the receiver. It's incomplete. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 22-yard line. 1 minute, 32 seconds to play first half. We'll have Mark Haste and his statistics at halftime. We'll hope you'll stay tuned for that. We'll have a scoring summary. Hopefully only 2 scores. Wildcats trying to hold them out here. 2nd and 10. Handoff number 3. Touchdown. Nope. He's going to be popped hard right at the 5-yard line. So they just mix it up so well. And number 3 He's a good-looking running back. Peyton Brooks is his name. 5'10", 169-pounder. He's a senior. He was popped at the 5-yard line where it's first down goal to go. He was upended by the Wildcats right at the 5-yard line. Grayson Hope and one other Wildcat, but just a great play call. You know, I thought they were going to throw it. They've been successful all night throwing the ball. They just ran it up the middle with a great run. Their play calling is so good. It's mixing it up, keeping the Wildcats off balance. 3 receivers split to the right. Now we've got flags are down. Timeout is called by Oak Ridge. 56.7 seconds to play here in the first half. 14-0 our score. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Oak Ridge.
Kingsport Marching Band playing in front of us here. They'll be playing at halftime, which is in 56.7 seconds of actual game time. Appreciate all of our sponsors. The Fox Insurance Group is our main sponsor here this year. Mortgage Investors Group, Ortho Tennessee, Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge, East Tennessee Spine and Sport, Dr. John B. Burgess, Jim Norman with Joyce, Meredith Flitcroft, and Norman, Attorneys of Law, PLLC, and Title Services, Nathan Miser with Shelton Insurance, Tim Bank of Oak Ridge, the Oak Ridge Utility District. First down, goal to go for Dobyns-Bennet. The ball at the Oak Ridge 5-yard line. 56.7 seconds to play. 3 receivers split to the left of the quarterback. He's going to drop the ball, picked up on the ground. The Wildcats, I think, have recovered a fumble. Oak Ridge has recovered a fumble, and that'll stop the Kingsport drive with 51.2 seconds. They needed that desperately. The exchange between the quarterback, he pulled it away from the back. The ball was down on the ground and recovered by Oak Ridge. That's a big play for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. So unless, I would guess at this stage with the ball at the 12-yard line, Coach Cummings will go conservative here and just head to the dressing room, content to be down only 2 scores because it was very close to being 3 because they had the ball first and goal at the 5-yard line. Here comes Oak Ridge on the field once again offensively. Wildcats are going to have, looks like Izzy Mitchell and Brandon Hayward split to the right. Maybe one shot here. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 12-yard line. Garza's going to drop back. He's going to go deep. The pass is on the Oak Ridge sideline. It's incomplete. No flags. Might want to do that. Try that maybe. Well, you don't want to give them the ball once again. So I think maybe you take your shot there, and let's see if Coach Cummings rolls the dice once again. Only 44.4 seconds to play. You don't want to give them the ball back for sure. Second down, 10 yards to go. Wildcats down 14-0. Just seconds away from halftime here at Kingsport. Dobyns-Bennet Band will play at halftime. I don't see the Oak Ridge Bands. The Wildcats are going to pass it out to Almani Rimbert. It's incomplete. Now the Wildcats are in danger of giving them the ball back. Dobyns-Bennet, looking at their timeouts, they have 3 timeouts remaining. Only a few seconds have gone off the clock. 39.8 seconds to play. I'm not a football coach. I just sit up in the press box and I observe. But I know if Oak Ridge does not get the first down right here, the Wildcats are going to be forced to punt, and they're going to get the ball around midfield. So let's see what Oak Ridge can do. The Wildcats desperately need a first down. Third down, 10 yards to go, 39 seconds to play. Garza is going to hand it off to Jai Hunley. Jai Hunley's got that first down. 20, 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45-yard line. And down he goes right around midfield. Did our official with the white hat call a flag? He's looking backwards. There is no yellow flags on the field. The Wildcats pick up the first down. Great run by Jai Hunley. Officially down at the 49-yard line, and now he's coming over. Let's see. He's coming over to say sideline warning against Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. So officially they're going to say at the 48-yard line. That was a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. There's 29.8 seconds to play now. Take a couple more shots here. You got Brandon Hayward. You got Elijah Rogers. You have Jai Hunley. You have Connor Cummings. You have good receivers out here. Even the tight end, Brian Kelly would be a great option there across the middle. They haven't done that one here. 29.8 seconds to play. Play is halted. I'm not sure why. Official is set. He takes so much time getting set. Now the clock will start at the snap of the ball. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 48-yard line. Ethan Garza. Pass. Caught. Brandon Hayward stiff arms his way and is pushed out of bounds at around the Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet 42-yard line. 24 seconds to play. Wildcats trying to get a cheapie here at the end of the first half. What a great run by Jai Hunley to get that first down for the Wildcats. Never doubted him a bit. Wildcats have it at the Dobyns-Bennet 41. Wildcats have three receivers split to the right. Hayward is the receiver to the right side. Actually, they have three to the left. Guards it a pass. Fires a pass. Brandon Hayward catches it, I think, at the 30-yard line. That's a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down. Stops the clock with 17.9 seconds to play. The clock is stopped, and Oak Ridge will quickly call a timeout. Remember, at halftime, Mark and Shauna Hayes will have the final stats. I am all by myself up in the press box here in the booth, while Mark and Shauna are outside in the blistering wind, in the cold here in Kingsport. It is chilly. It is chilly, ladies and gentlemen, up here. I am toasty up here because they've got the heat on. Lee Wexler is doing our camera work. He is outside the booth with Mark and Shauna. They have icicles falling from their clothing. Our camera guys down on the field, they've got to be cold as well. Alex Waraxa wore shorts as usual. He's down on the field along with Josh Frazier. We also have Matthew Charles and Christian Roses Rodriguez, fresh off of Paris Island and boot camp, now a member of the United States Marine Corps. He's been our camera guy for us the last 3 years. It's great to have him here. Set the stage for you. The Wildcats have the ball at the Dobyns-Bennet 30-yard line. Wildcats have one timeout remaining. They've got it first down, 10 yards to go at the Kingsport 30. This coming after a fumble by Dobyns-Bennet inside the 10-yard line. Guards it a pass, fires it. Pass wide open, man, is incomplete. Almani Rimbert, boy, Garza got blasted right there. 12 seconds to go. Almani was the intended receiver, and we would have had the ball inside the 10-yard line. Might have even been a touchdown. Garza displaying a beautiful arm. His arm strength is phenomenal, but it's incomplete. Now it's second down and 10. Perhaps one play. By the looks of the punting, and Brendan Pearson has not practiced really all week because he got injured, honestly, last week in the win over Carnes. I don't know if he's good for long field goals or it will be David Wilson. We just got to get some points on the board here. Guards at a pass, fires across the way, pass is incomplete. 8 seconds to play. It's third and 10. A little bit too strong that time. I think Connor Cummings was the intended receiver, and it was right around the 15-yard line. If he makes the catch there, they're definitely in field goal range. Now, do you have enough time? There's 8.2 seconds left on the clock. It is third down and 10. Let's see what Oak Ridge can do. Got to do something quick if you want to get in the field goal range. Something quick on the sideline, perhaps, or take it to the end zone. Guards at a pass to the end zone. Brandon Hayward. Flags are down. He makes the catch. No, it's going to be pass interference right at the goal line with 1.5 seconds to play. I thought Brandon might have made the catch in the end zone, which actually doubles as the infield for their baseball team. They're going to say, I believe it's pass interference right at the 5-yard line. Obviously, it's not a spot foul in high school. The Wildcats, let's see what they elect to do. There's only 1.5 seconds to play, and the Wildcats are going to use their final timeout. We're live here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. Next week, the Wildcats will be traveling up I-75 to take on the Campbell County Cougars in the final regular season ball game, the final regular season region ball game for the Wildcats. If the Wildcats can win the ball game, they will host the first round of the TSSAA playoffs 2 weeks from tonight. I've looked at it. If the Wildcats win, I think Oak Ridge will be hosting Ray County. If the Wildcats were to lose the game to Campbell County, they could fall down as far as 4th place, I think, doing the math at the playoffs, and would have to travel to McMinn County again, like we did last year, or perhaps even Walker Valley, depending on what happens here. But with a Wildcat win over Campbell County, I think Oak Ridge will be hosting the Ray County Golden Eagles. But you got to beat Campbell County next week. This game doesn't matter for the playoffs at all. Looks like David Wilson's going to come into the game to attempt a field goal. The holder will be Nehemiah Elmore. He will put the tee down, or the block, whatever they call it, at the 22-yard line, making this a 32-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. And now Kingsport will call a timeout themselves. Brian, let's take a quick one. We'll be back to Kingsport in 30 seconds. We'll go back to Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. The Wildcats going for a 32-yard field goal here. As we're running through our sponsors here, we'll get more of those at halftime. David Wilson is the man, hopefully the man right here. Bryce Palmer is the long snapper. Nehemiah Elmore, the quarterback, is the holder. David Wilson to attempt from the right hash. This one, 32 yards. Here's the snap. It's good. The hold. The kick is on its way. It's up. Looks up. And it is good. David Wilson connects on a 32-yard field goal. So the Wildcats take advantage of the Dobyns-Bennet fumble. They march down the field, get it in the field goal range. They got a little help from a pass interference call, but they still do trail 14-3. But at least the Wildcats are on the board and have a little momentum as they head to the second half. Dobyns-Bennet will be receiving the second half kickoff. My name is David Clary. We are live here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. Beautiful facilities. If you've never been up here, it's just a great place to watch a high school football game. It's the size of some college. It's bigger than some colleges. And we're on the fourth level up here looking down at this beautiful facility here at Kingsport. Halftime score, the Wildcats trail Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. 14-3 is our score. We'll take a break. We'll send it off to Brian Bennett. When we come back, we'll have a scoring summary. We'll have Mark and Shauna's statistics. 14-3 our score. We'll be back to Kingsport following this 3-minute timeout. David Clary back here along with Mark and Shauna Hayes, Lee Wexler, Matthew Charles, Alex Boraxa, along with Josh Frazier and Christian Rosas Rodriguez. Our engineer back at the radio station is Brian Bennett. The second half just moments from getting underway here. We didn't see the Dobyns-Bennet band play. It was their senior night, and they introduced all their seniors, and they didn't get a chance to do their performance, so it's kind of sadly lacking. Obviously, at the end of the first half, there was a penalty against Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, and Oak Ridge is going to be kicking off from the Kingsport side of the 50-yard line. So I did not see that. I apologize for that. Maybe they got him for a delay of some sort, but 15, yeah, it's 15 yards here, so I guess that's unsportsmanlike conduct. I don't know, but Oak Ridge is going to be kicking off from the 45. Kind of makes things a little different. We'll see here. They've got a couple guys back as we're about to start the second half in a 14-3 ball game. The Wildcat place kicker is the senior Brennan Pearson. They've got a couple guys standing back at the goal line. We're kicking off from their 45-yard line. Here's Brennan's kick. He hits it high. Does he split the uprights? He almost did. That would have been a field goal. I don't know. I might have considered maybe a little squib kick down the middle there, but, you know, they'll start at 20. In high school ball, obviously, it's hard to drive 80 yards. And that's what they'll have to do here. Wildcats got a break at the end of the first half. If you just tuned in, Wildcats were down 14-0, and Dobyns-Bennet was driving for a touchdown. They had the ball first and goal at the 5. They fumbled. The Wildcats picked it up at around the 7, went down the field crisply in a short period of time and picked up the David Wilson field goal, and that's why the Wildcats have 3 points on the board. Dobyns-Bennet's offense is back out on the field. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball at their own 20-yard line, handoff to the running back, and he cuts inside. He's popped. Wildcats hit him hard. I think that's Terrence Anthony who makes the stop after a gain of about 2. Quarterback for them, we've been talking about him. He's a really good one, and he's tall, too. That's what strikes you first. Jake Carson, 6'6", 223-pounder. Their running back is Peyton Brooks, 5'10", 187-pound senior. He gained 2 yards on that particular play. It is second down. We'll call it a long 7 to go. The ball's at the 22-yard line. Dobyns-Bennet on top, 14-3. 3 receivers split to the right, 1 lone man to the right side or left side as well, 1 lone running back for Carson. Wildcats with 5 on the front. Little quick pass is going to be dropped. Flags are down on the play. We might have a hold. And they threw it right at the center's feet. And Galloway and the center kind of got into it just a bit, and I didn't see the call. It's going to be an eligible receiver downfield against the Dobyns-Bennet Indians. The pass was incomplete. It'll be 3rd down facing Dobyns-Bennet. And they're going to step the yardage off. It is an eligible receiver downfield for the Indians. It'll be for Kingsport. The ball back to the 17-yard line. 11:13 to play in the 3rd period. The Wildcats down 14-3. For Dobyns-Bennet, it's 2nd down, 13 yards to go. And here comes the tight formation this time. They kind of get a 3 bunch here on the left side. 1 lone running back, a single man to the right. The pitch will go to the tailback, and he moves the ball forward in a great play by the Wildcats. They stop him. It's going to be Terrence Anthony hitting first. Tyler Pickens is there. Tim Waters is there. They move the ball to the 20-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. It is now 3rd down and 10. Penalties have hurt both teams, obviously, in this one. Wildcats with Tyler Pickens in there playing 1 defensive end position. The Wildcats have Waters, Galloway, and looks like 1 other Wildcat, number 53 in there. The Wildcats will get the rest of the defense here in a moment. 3rd down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 20-yard line. Once again, receivers left and right. Carson with a slot man to his right. It's going to drop back to pass. Has all day. Goes across the middle. Pass is going to be incomplete. Elijah Rogers defending, and they'll be forced to punt. Wildcats had a really good defense that time. There was no way in the world they were going to complete that pass. Elijah was on him like glue. It'll be the Wildcats back to receive the punt, trying to get back in this ball game. 10:21 to play in the 3rd period. Coach Cummings told me on the Wednesday TV show that we do each and every week from Okies, 7 o'clock on Channel 12. We hope you join us there. He told me they've already talked to Dobyns-Bennet, and they're going to renew the series for the next 2 years at least. 4th down, 10 yards to go. Wildcats should get good field position. Snap is good. Punt is away. It's a low spiraling kick. Wildcats field it at the 40, at the 45, at the 50. The Wildcats, Brandon Hayward returns it to the Dobyns-Bennet 47-yard line, and that is where Oak Ridge will have it. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Really a low line drive allowed Brandon to return it 7 to 10 yards there, and the Wildcats will have great field position. So the ineligible receiver penalty against Dobyns-Bennet hurt them badly. And let's see what Oak Ridge can do offensively. They were able to move the ball. I think they can get the corners here. Early on, Dozier was getting to the edges. Wildcats were able to get some passing yardage as well. And some of the passing game has been good, although I haven't seen Dozier come back in the ball game. Hopefully he's okay. I do see quarterback Ethan Garza and Jai Hunley in the backfield. The Wildcats have a tight end. That's Brian Kelly. Garza straight drop, screen pass, incomplete again. Wildcats, Almani Rimbert was the intended receiver. They came in strong with 3 guys. We got to figure out a way to get the ball into Almani's hands. He has really not had much to do with the offense. He had a couple runs a week ago, but kind of in mop-up situation. We've got to get the ball in his hands because he's dangerous in space, much like the other guys. 2nd and 10. The Wildcats got to get things rolling here. The Wildcats will have Garza in the shotgun. The ball's at the 47-yard line of Kingsport. They're moving left to right as I look down from the press box. Handoff goes right side. Elijah Rogers, 45. Elijah to the Dobyns-Bennet 40. It'll be 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Facing the Wildcats, 9:58 to play. 3rd period live on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. Get well wishes go out to our good friend Mike Sheehan. Couldn't make the trip with us tonight. Had a little vision problem. Didn't think he should come up here and help me on the air. And Alex Myers has a big boy job, and he couldn't get away to help us. But hopefully I haven't messed it up for you listeners out there in Radio Land. 3rd down, 3 yards to go. 9:30 to play. The ball's to the Dobyns-Bennet 40. The Wildcats need 3 for a first. Ethan to pass. Pass is caught. First down and more. Up the field, Brian Kelly. Across the 25 to the Dobyns-Bennet 23-yard line. One of the few times they've actually passed to Brian when it was not in the middle of the field. He was in the flats there. Nice route there by the tight end, Brian Kelly. First down, 10 yards to go. That is a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down at the Dobyns-Bennet 21-yard line. Wildcats going quickly. 2 receivers to the left. First down, 10 yards to go. Garza to pass. Pass is going to be dropped. Incomplete pass intended again for Almani Rimbert. It's a bullet right cutting across the middle of the field. 2nd and 10. 9:01 to play here. Officially, the ball is at the Dobyns-Bennet 21-yard line. Oak Ridge trailing 14-3 as we play here in Kingsport. Next week, we're at Campbell County region ball game. The Wildcats playing for a home playoff ball game 2 weeks from tonight. If they win, I think they're going to play Ray County at Blankenship Field. If they lose, going to probably have to go on the road. Wildcats, 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Garza hands it off, running back, trying to get to the 20, barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Then Jai moves the ball to the 19-yard line. It's going to be for the Wildcats, 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Getting a little concerned here. I've not seen DeJavis Dozier come back in the ball game. Looking across the sideline, maybe I'll get a chance to text our trainer down there, Brian Leffler, see if DeJavis is okay. I haven't seen him come back in. You know, he's approaching over 800 yards on the season. Leading ground gainer for the Wildcats. He and Jai both had over 130 yards a week ago in the victory over Carnes. 3rd down, 8 yards to go. The ball is at the 18-yard line. Garza will pitch to Hundley. Hundley tries to get outside. 15, 10, 5. Hundley runs into his own man. His own man tackled him at the 2-yard line, and Jai took him out. Was that Brandon Hayward down there? It was one Wildcat. He stopped his own man. That would have been a touchdown. They're going to say officially he is out at the 1-yard line. You'll see that happen very often. Wildcats ran right in. That would have been a touchdown, but our white-shirted Wildcat makes the stop, so give him an extra tackle on the tackle sheet there, Mark Haste and Shauna. Wildcats have it, 1st down, goal to go. The ball at the 1-yard line. Garza under center. Wildcats handoff. Jai Hundley. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. Jai Hundley takes it in from 1 yard out. And with 8 minutes and 32 seconds to play in the 3rd period, the Wildcats trail it now 14-9. And the Wildcats will send David Wilson into the ball game to attempt the extra point. 14-9 our score. The holder. We'll see if the Wildcats get in that weird kind of position. Hayward is out of the ball game. Almani Rimbert is in that spot where usually Brandon Hayward, when they go for that weird, maybe go for 2 like they did last week and were successful. They were successful one other time at South Doyle. David Wilson to attempt the extra point. Snap is high. The kick is on its way. It's up. Wilson's kick is up, and it is good. 8 minutes, 32 seconds to play. We're in the 3rd period here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School, and the Wildcats trail it 14-10, and we'll be back to Kingsport following this 60-second timeout. Favorite player back here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge trailing 14-10. Good opening drive here in the 2nd half. Brennan's kick is a end-over-end kick fielded at the 5, 10, 15, 20. And the Wildcats bring him down right at the 30-yard line. The Wildcats make the stop and might have gone the distance. And that very seldom has Brennan's kicks been short. I believe that for the Wildcats was Isaiah Porter who dragged him down to keep him from really going for a longer kickoff return. It is a nice one. It wasn't a short kick. I mean, in high school, if you kick it to the inside the 5-yard line, you're doing something right. But most of Brennan's kicks this year have been into the end zone. But as I mentioned, Brennan didn't actually practice this week because of got hit on the block punt last week. See what Dobyns-Bennet can do. See if they can answer the Wildcats. They have the ball at the 30-yard line. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Wildcats down 14-10, 8:24 to play in the 3rd period. Hand off to the running back, and Vashon Knowles grabs him. Is this guy going to call out face mask? He grabbed him around the helmet. We'll see. If he calls a face mask on that, that's cheap. That's cheap. He reached out and grabbed him around the side, and let's see what they call. They're going to the farthest official is going to say personal foul, face mask. The farthest official from the play made that call. I saw him kind of reach a little bit high with the tackle, but the closest officials did not call it. But it's a big foul. It's a big foul against the Wildcats. I'm not saying it didn't happen that time, because I did see him try to tackle him up high. The penalty yardage on the personal fouls moved up to the 45-yard line. You can't give them any momentum. The Wildcats have just pulled to within 4, cannot let them score. 14-10 the score, 8:15 to play third quarter. First down, 10 yards to go at the 45-yard line. Carson at quarterback will drop back to pass. A little quick, high floating pass. Brandon Hayward defending, it's incomplete. Good defense there by Brandon. Step for step with him down the Oak Ridge sideline, which is far across the field from us. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go. Wildcats pass coverage has been much, much better here in the second half. They got a couple off early on in the ball game, just wide open. Wildcat coverage has been much better. This quarterback can throw it. He definitely can throw the football. Jake Carson can. It's for the Indians, second down 10. They just told the clock keeper to reset the play clock, and they did. Then 19 seconds to play. Or on the play clock. 8 minutes and 2 seconds to play in the third quarter, 14-10. Here comes Dobyns-Bennet. They'll split off. Let's see. Ethan Dietrich as a receiver to the right. They've got 3 guys left. Quarterback's rolling to his right. Looks, dumps it out of the backfield. Passes caught for a first down. Nice play. Nice tackle, though. Wildcats, they're going to get a first down, but it was a really nice tackle out there in space. I think I'm looking at Price Davis makes the stop, but not before they pick up a first down at the Oak Ridge 44-yard line. Just a little roll out to the right side. He just popped him out of the backfield. Nice play for Dobyns-Bennet. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at the Oak Ridge 44, 7:47 to play in the third quarter. 14-10, the Wildcats trailing. Here comes Dobyns-Bennet. They'll split off a single man to the right side. I believe his name is Dustin Freeman. We got 2 guys out that way, one to the left. Hand off to the running back, and he runs into Galloway. He runs into one other Wildcat, Tyler Pickens, Bashawn Knowles, and looks like Terrence Anthony. It'll be really hardly any gain at all on the play. In fact, no gain at all. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go for Kingsport. 7:15 and counting in the third quarter. They have the ball at the Oak Ridge 44-yard line. Second down, 10 yards to go. Wildcats have Bashawn Knowles and Tyler Pickens as the defensive ends. Looks like Waters is in the ball game for Oak Ridge. LaMichael Galloway is in there. Wildcats have Terrence Anthony, Brian Kelly, Grayson Hope in the ball game. Second down, 10. I'll get the secondary in a second. Hand off to the running back, and he powers his way forward. Wildcats need to push that pile back. He gets it up to the 40. It's a gain of 4. Brian Kelly makes the stop there for the Wildcats with one other white-shirted Wildcat. And I believe that might have been Pickens once again. It's going to be third down and a long 3 to go for a first. 6:32 to play, third quarter. We might be in 4-down territory for the Indians here. They've got it third down and 4 yards to go. They lead Oak Ridge 14-10 as we broadcast on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, and prepradio.com. We'll put this stream live as soon as the game is over, and so you can watch the game. Receivers left and right. Man comes in motion. Carson's going to hand it off to the running back, and it's a big hole. Big hit by the Wildcats, but he bounces off of it and continues down his merry way as Elijah Roger eventually hits him and knocks him down. He's got the first down. They popped him behind the line of scrimmage, but for some reason, Elijah thinks there should have been a foul call, but there was not. They have the ball inside the 30-yard line. He got popped pretty good. I think he would have picked up the first down, but then he kind of rolled off the initial hits by the Wildcats and was able to move the ball forward. Ball's at the 28-yard line. Got to hold him to a field goal right here. No more touchdowns. 14-10 is our score. 5 minutes, 58 seconds to play in the third quarter. With a first down 10 at the 28-yard line. Once again, quarterback is Jake Carson. One lone running back. Carson's going to roll to his right. Dump a pass, batted down. Batted down by Tyler Pickens. It's second down and 10. They rolled off to the right side. There was nobody in the flat that time to throw to it. He tried to get it over the big 6'4" transfer from Hardin Valley Academy. Nothing doing. Pickens knocks it down. It's second down and 10 yards to go. Ball is at the Oak Ridge 28-yard line. The clock is stopped now. 5 minutes, 52 seconds to play. We're in the third quarter. Packed house here. Not a big turnout of Wildcat fans, though. Not a whole lot of Oak Ridgers made the trip. Very disappointing. The band's not here, so that's kind of disappointing in itself. 14-10 our score. Second down, 10 yards to go. From the 28, hand off to the running back, number 28. Cuts inside, no place to go. Down he goes. Brian Kelly there makes the stop. It's a gain of 3. It'll be third down. We'll call it. Well, we'll see. It might have been a flag. There is a flag laying down on the field. It is holding against Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. Both teams have had penalties that have really hurt them. Both teams. They've stalled drives for both Oak Ridge and Kingsport tonight. This one is backed off. They're going to say block in the back. I didn't see it. It's going to be backed at the 36-yard line. So now it is second down and about 20. Second down, 18 yards to go. Doing the math here, back at the 36-yard line. They need to get to just across the 19 of Oak Ridge for a first down. Dobyns-Bennet leads 14-10. Wildcats have scored 10 unanswered points, trying to stop the Indian onslaught offense right here. Second down, 18 yards to go. Low snap, pass, end zone, pass, out of bounds. No way, can't catch it. Way out of bounds. Third down, 18 yards to go, facing Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. They continue to go to the sideline. The Wildcats have had really good coverage out there by Brandon Hayward. Seen some good coverage by Elijah Rogers out there. The Wildcats have him on the left side of the quarterback. Izzy Mitchell is in the game. Brandon Hayward. Wildcats, I don't see Dallas Friend in there. Still waiting to find out about the Jarvis Dozier. We'll ask, we texted the trainer a little while ago. Big third down play here. It's 4-down territory for the Indians, I think, right at the 36-yard line. Most definitely 4-down territory for them. And now Kingsport's going to call a timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll be back to Kingsport in 60 seconds. David Clary back here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. Third down, 18 yards to go. The ball at the 36-yard line of the Wildcats. 14-10, the Wildcats trailing. Carson at quarterback. What's the call? Is it delay a game? I think we're going to have a penalty. The Wildcats sidelines are erupting. It's illegal procedure called against Kingsport. That's another 5 yards. Kingsport kind of shooting themselves in the foot a bit. As the Oak Ridge crowd, which is not big, there's a student section probably of about, I don't know, 15 or so hardy young lads and ladies down to our right. Big penalty there. Let's see if the Wildcats can hold them here. The ball's walked back to the 41-yard line. They need to get to the 19 for a first, so it's third down and 23 yards to go. 5:20 to play. Third period, 14-10 the score. Two receivers, actually three receivers to the left for Carson. One lone running back. Here comes pressure, lots of pressure. Carson fires a pass. He got batted down. He got knocked down to the turf. The Wildcats finally got a little pressure on him. He tried to deliver a short pass. It was going to be only of about 5 or 6 yards. And because of their penalties and because of some really good defense right there, the Wildcats are forcing them to punt. So a good series of defense there for the Wildcats. Momentum definitely on the Wildcats side here. They've scored 10 unanswered points, and Grayson Manning, 6'1", 175-pounder, is in to punt the ball away for the Dobyns-Bennet Indians. 14-10 the score. Wildcats, here's the snap. Here's the punt. It's high. It's a long spiraling kick. It's going to go rolling inside and we'll be down at the 5-yard line. What a great punt. He got it to just kind of roll dead and back to bad field position go the Wildcats. But Oak Ridge has been able to get through some poor field position during the course of the broadcast. And let's see what they can do here. See if Jarvis Dozier comes back in the ballgame. He was not in the entire series. I know they want to keep him fresh. It was Jai Hundley on the previous drive that kind of fueled the Wildcats offense. 14-10 our score, 5:05 to play the third quarter. The Wildcats trying to take the lead for the first time. They fell behind 14-0, and ever since that fumble inside the 5-yard line, the Wildcats have put 10 on the board here, and momentum is definitely on their side. And let's see what Ethan Garza and company can do as the Jarvis Dozier is back in the backfield for the Wildcats. Wildcats with a tight formation. Garza, first down 10. What's the call? Is it delay a game? Let's see. They called something. I don't know if they had reset the clock. It is going to be delay a game. That is so unbelievable how you can get a delay a game call right there when you've just exchanged, and now we're half the distance to the goal back to the 3. Just the Wildcats have it once again. 2 receivers to the right. Let's see if they just hand it to Dozier. No, it's going to be Jai Hundley. He's in the end zone. He's going to get out of there. Boom. He's blasted. He gets to the 5-yard line. Jai got blasted. He's lucky that it was not a safety, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, because he was rolling to his left, and he was a good 3-4 yards in the end zone there, and there were plenty of maroon shirts around him, but they couldn't get him down. It's a gain on the play of 4. Second down, 11 yards to go. The Wildcats spreading it out just a bit here. 2 receivers split to the right, single man to the left. Quarterback is Ethan Garza. Second down, 11 yards to go from their own 5-yard line. Good snap. Garza across the way, pass is intercepted. Nope, they're going to say it's incomplete. Caught a break there. Went off the fingertips. The pass, I think, was intended either for Connor or Izzy. It's either an 8 or a 9. I can't quite see it. It went off his fingertips. The pass was behind. It's for Connor, I believe. It was behind him. It went off his fingertips, and it was almost scooped up by an Indian. And you can hear the Indian chants across the way by their loud and very, very fine band playing the Tomahawk Chop here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. Big play for the Wildcats. Third down, 11 yards to go. Play clock is down to 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and Coach Cummings calls a timeout. 14-10 our score. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Is that helping? David Clary back here along with Mark and Shauna Hayes, Josh Frazier, Matthew Charles, Alex Waraxa, along with Lee Wexler and Brian Bennett and Christian Roses Rodriguez. The Wildcats down 14-10, 4:22 to play in the third quarter. Earlier in the game, I was running down some of our sponsors. I'll continue that. Jackson Square Barbershop, TK Wheeler Jewelers, Oak Ridge Pharmacy, Cook's Comfort Systems. Cook's Comfort Systems also sponsors our TV show. Betsy Coleman Realty, OBGYN Associates of Oak Ridge, Dr. William Linehan, DDS, MacArthur Animal Hospital, and the Oak Ridge High School class of 1989. Third down, 11 yards to go. Ethan Garza to pass, deep pass. There's holding. Did he call it? He does. Pass interference. He held him. The fans down here in front of me don't agree, but he grabbed him by his waist and held him. And that is going to give Oak Ridge a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. You might hear the booing here in front of us here in the upper level of the Dobyns-Bennet Stadium here. Beautiful facility here. They've really improved it. It was an old facility when I first started doing the ball games. I was a lot younger than myself. Now I'm an old guy, and we're in a new stadium here. It's beautiful, just fantastic. The only thing I don't like about it, if you've never been there, never been here before, the baseball field is in the right side. It's all artificial turf, including the infield. It's going to be pass interference called against Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, and that gets the Wildcats out of a big hole. At the 20-yard line, they'll have it first down, 10 yards to go. A 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. 3:38 to play, third quarter, 14-10. 14-10 is our score. We're going to have to put some more time back out on the clock, I heard the PA guy say. See what the Wildcats can do. First down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats trying to end a 3-game losing streak to the Indians. Now they put 4:10 back on the clock. So down, the clock is being kept down on the field where most of the time it is, even at Oak Ridge. People always look up in the press box and wonder if the time's ticking. It's being kept on the field most places. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Handoff goes Jai Hundley. Jai Hundley, oh man, he was one step away from taking it about 80 yards. He does move the ball to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play. Wildcats playing solid football against this 7-1 Dobyns-Bennet team. Their only loss, a 21-20 loss to Greenville. 3:50 and counting in the third quarter. 2nd down 5. Handoff goes Hundley, 30, 35, 40, 45, to the 50-yard line, to the 45, to the Dobyns-Bennet 42-yard line. No flags down. First down, a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. The Wildcats starting to move the ball on the ground using their bread and butter. Dozier and Hundley, and the Wildcats have it. First down and 10 yards to go. Hundley and the Wildcats getting good yardage. The ball's at the Kingsport 41-yard line. They're moving left to right. The Wildcats here in the third quarter, 14-10. The Wildcats trailing Kingsport, third period here in Kingsport. From the 41-yard line, the Wildcats have a single receiver split to the left. Kingsport doesn't like the formation. They call a timeout. 14-10, the Wildcats driving. The Oak Ridge crowd going berserk across the way. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School in 30 seconds. Each time the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats score a touchdown, that touchdown is sponsored by the Oak Ridge class of 1989. As they say, no one does it like the class of 1989. If your class would like to get involved, you can send me an email, dccatvoice@AOL. Yes, I still have an AOL account. We'd like to thank the class of 1989 for all their involvement academically and athletically to Oak Ridge High School. Wildcats down 14-10. They've got a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down at the 41-yard line of Kingsport. That tight formation. Wildcats have one lone receiver. Wildcats with a backfield split. Tight end comes in motion, and here's the pitch to the right side. The Wildcats trying to get wide. Hundley 40, 45, down the sideline, out of bounds. They say he goes at the 29-yard line, and that is another 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. I have said it, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. We have been able to get on the edge against these guys, and that is another example that we are quicker than them on the edges. As they're going to put the ball down officially at the 30-yard line. He spotted it out the 29, and they backed it up. It's still a first down for the Wildcats. 3:11 to play, third quarter, 14-10 the score. The Wildcats and Dobyns-Bennet Indians. This is the 45th meeting between the two schools. Great rivalry, as I've said many times. Ethan Garza, Hundley, hit in the backfield, loses yardage. I don't know. You can go to the well one too many times. That time, Dobyns-Bennet was ready for it. Wildcats, you have to get good blocking on the side. They've got Tim Waters in there. Wildcats are going to get the big package out. They're going to bring the regular guys in, Elijah Israel and Austin Hill, the guards. Out will go the big boys for the Wildcats, and we've got several of those on the field there tonight. Now they're going to get back in their regular offense. It's second down and 13 yards to go. Up to the line will come the Wildcats. Ethan Garza had the play. The Wildcats also had, looks like, Hickson in the ball game as a lineman. Garza back to pass all day. Now he breaks down. He goes deep. End zone. Passes up for grabs. He can't make the catch. It was a 50-50 ball, and our guy didn't come down with it. It's now third down and 12 yards to go. Can't let this one slip by the boards here. Wildcats, that first down play when they lost a couple, kind of got the Wildcats in trouble. I don't know what happened right there. Ethan Garza, our quarterback, very seldom gets panicky. He looked, and all of a sudden, what he was expecting to see was not there. Then he looked down the field, and old reliable number 13 just couldn't deliver the pass. Good coverage there by Dobyns-Bennet. It's 3rd down and 12. Wow, listen how loud their band is. From the 32-yard line, man comes in motion. Garza across the way, pass is caught. Brian Kelly makes the catch at the 25-yard line. It's going to be 4th down facing the Wildcats. Brian finally comes down. That's the second time they've delivered a pass to Brian in the flats. There is a flag down. I think we might have a procedure. I thought there was lots of people moving for Oak Ridge. I think this one, from my vantage point, of course I'm 4 stories up, it looked to me like there was movement and nobody was set, and it just looked awkward, honestly. The far official having words with the referee, and let's see if it is indeed a penalty. It's going to be a penalty against the Wildcats. Not sure. I didn't see what he signaled, honestly. But they're going to step off yardage, and it's a 5-yard step off. And 5-yard penalty. It's going to be 3rd down. 3rd down and about 18 yards to go. The ball is back at the 36-yard line. It is a loss of down penalty, making it 4th down according to the yard marker. Ball is at the 36-yard line. Ethan Garza with 2 receivers to his left. Ben comes in motion once again. That's Jai Hunley. Garza to pass. Across the way. Pass is incomplete. They might call pass interference. It might be a screen, and that might give Oak Ridge the 1st down. Brandon Hayward was the intended receiver. There was 3 maroon shirts back there. Well, you can probably tell by the reaction of the crowd in front of me. They didn't like what they just saw. Flag went down. Brandon was the intended receiver, and I don't know if he got tripped, bumped, held, whatever. I think it's going to be a 1st down for the Wildcats, although I have not seen a signal. They're walking backwards, and once again, he doesn't know how to spot the ball. He went all the way back across the 40. That's the 2nd time he's done that. I'm not sure he knows who the penalty was on. He continues. He gets the ball, and then he goes the opposite direction to spot the ball. They're going to put the ball down, and they're still talking about it. He is spotted finally at the 22-yard line. It is against Kickstein. It is against Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. It is still 4th down facing the Wildcats, 4th and 3. Number 22 hasn't carried the ball in a while. They need 3 to keep this drive going. We've got that tight formation once again. Garza hands it off, and they've got nothing. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like it better when you spread them out a little bit. Garza handed it off to Dozier. He was dropped in the backfield, and they'll take over on down. You know, I'm not one to question play calls, but I think it's so much better, especially to kind of widen it out a little bit, get some more gaps. He couldn't get to the edge. Dozier couldn't. And now, good stop there by Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, and they'll take over. A good opportunity by the boards. In the tight formation, 2 plays killed the Wildcats. The 1st down play killed them, and they were behind the chains the entire drive, and then that play not picking up the 1st down. But it has worked successfully in other times, but I didn't like it right there. 1st down, 10 yards to go from the 23-yard line. Dobyns-Bennet on top, 14-10. Carson's going to pitch to the tailback, hit in the backfield by the Wildcats. I believe Elijah Bradley. He drops him after about a yard gained on the play. It'll be 2nd down, 9 yards to go. 1:28 to play 3rd quarter. 14-10 is our score. Wildcats have Bashan Knowles in the ball game. Wildcats have Tim Waters. They have LaMichael Galloway. Wildcats have a number 53 in the ball game as well. And the Wildcats are back on defense. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Carson, a quarterback, drops the pass. Pressured, fires a pass, incomplete. He got belted. The Wildcats came in, and Wildcat off defensive line got in strong on him, and he stood there for a while, and he took the punishment, delivers an incomplete pass, and it's 3rd down and 9. 55.4 seconds to play. Wildcats, they have 53 listed, and that's Cameron Knight. But I don't think that's Cameron Knight. It could be. I don't know. Somebody with a different number, perhaps. Pickens is back in the ball game. Wildcats down 14-10, 55.4 seconds to play in the ball game. The ball is at the 24-yard line of Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. See what Carson can do. He's 9. Back to pass. Pass is going to be caught. He's in trouble. Going backwards. Down he goes. Flags are down, though. Back at the 10-yard line. We might have a hold. We could have a face mask. We're going with a double pass right there, but the Wildcats had too many white shirts in there, and they drop him for a huge loss all the way back to the 10. It's holding against Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, and the Wildcat defense holds, and the Wildcats should get great field position. They'll be punting from their own end zone. 43.7 seconds to play. The Wildcats down 14-10. Brandon Hayward standing back at his own at the Dobyns-Bennet 45-yard line. They'll be punting from their own end zone, which is the infield of the Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet football or baseball field. Fourth down, a long ways to go. 21 yards, and Kingsport wants to talk about it. Timeout, DB, and they're spending several of their timeouts. They only have one timeout remaining in the ballgame. And the Oak Ridge crowd going nuts across the way. Oak Ridge down 14-10, about to get the ball back. We'll send it back to Brian once again. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
That's the third and final timeout of the half.
David Clary back here along with Mark and Shauna Haste and a host of camera guys. The Wildcats down 14-10, 32 seconds to play third quarter. Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet to punt from their own end zone here. Big play by the Wildcats just a moment ago. Fourth down and long. 4th and 21. Brandon Hayward standing back at the Dobyns-Bennet 45-yard line. 4th and 21. The Wildcats backing it off. You don't want a penalty right here. As the snap is high. It's over his head. It's going to go rolling out of the end zone. He's going to punt it. And the Wildcats, it is going to be a safety. Safety is called against the Dobyns-Bennet Indians. The snap went over the punter's head. He went all the way back to the back line to get it. It went over his head. He stepped on that back line, and that's 2 points for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge scores 2 and is going to get the ball. They trail it now 14-12 with 25.3 seconds. A safety. Their snaps have been good all night long until that one right there went over the top of the punter's head. He did just a great job to get back there to get it. He got the punt off, but he had already stepped on the back line of the end zone, and that's a safety. And the Wildcats have 2, and the Wildcats have scored 12 unanswered points on Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, and we're about to get a free kick from the Indians. Wow, what a turn of events there. Wildcats were going to get good field position anyway, but now they've got 2 more on the board, and they're about to get the ball back in the final 25.3 seconds of this third quarter. Huge play there for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. Really not much of their doing. They did get a good sack to put them in position for them to punt from their own end zone. The kind of curious thing about it is Dobyns-Bennet has used 2 of their timeouts. Actually, they have used all of their timeouts. They have no timeouts left for the rest of the second half. The Wildcats have 2 timeouts. It's going to be a free kick from the 20-yard line. The Wildcats in a 14-12 ball game, 12 unanswered points against Kingsport. Wildcats have got to get the right personnel in here. It's a free kick, and he's going to put it, not a punt. You can punt it, you can place kick it. They're going to do it from the 20-yard line. The Wildcats got to get their good hands team in there as well. They got to be aware this is a kickoff. It is not a punt. If the ball comes to you, you've got to field it. We have had so much trouble fielding these things. The Wildcats are still Not really sure who they have one on the field here. Now they get everybody in. And here we go. 14-12, the Wildcats trail. Free kick after the safety by Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. The Wildcats standing back at around the 30-yard line. Jai Hundley, and I believe Brandon Hayward, maybe Elijah Rogers. He'll turn around. I can see a little bit better. They're free kicking from the 20-yard line. 14-12, the score. Here's the kick. It's high, end over end, fielded by Oak Ridge at the 29, 30, 35, 40. And up to 42, the ball's fumbled, and guess who's got it? Dobyns-Bennet has it. Just like that, Wildcats turn the ball over. You got to protect the football. Momentum was in our favor. I think that's Elijah who fumbled it. He was, and he's had a couple of those. He's going to have to just kind of shake it off and play good defense. We were going to get the ball at around the 40-something yard line. The ball came popping out of there about 10 or 15 yards. Huge play there. Huge turnover. Hopefully not a game-deciding turnover there. Elijah's going to have to come out of the ball game. Elijah's going to have to come out. The Wildcats are going to have to get somebody in. Dobyns-Bennet, first down, 10 yards to go from the 47. 18.4 seconds to play. What a play. See if the Wildcat defense can rise to the occasion once again. Carson is going to hand it off to the running back. Boom! Big stick. He is blasted at the line of scrimmage. And then a late flag comes in. And it looks like we could have a late hit, perhaps. We'll have to check the call. Wildcats got a big
flag on the play.
Blast on the back. No gain. They're going to, the one guy signaled it's going to be personal foul against the Wildcats. And that's going to hurt the Wildcats' cause. What a fumble. I mean, you just can't, you got to.
Personal foul. Defense number 33.
It goes against Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly is whistled for a personal foul. Of all people, Brian doesn't usually get those, but we'll see. The Wildcat defense needs to rise to the occasion. 11 seconds to play in the third quarter in a 14-12 ball game, and that was the final play of the third quarter. So we've played 3 quarters of football here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge trail the Indians 14-12, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter in 60 seconds. Welcome back once again to Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School, fourth and final quarter. About set. We've got a ball game here after falling behind 14-0. The Wildcats have scored 12 unanswered points. The Kingsport's got it. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the Oak Ridge 37-yard line. First and 10. Quarterback Carson gone all the way. Going to hand it off to the running back, and he is hit by Brian Kelly and Bashan Knowles right at the 35-yard line. It'll be second down and about 8 yards to go. The safety got the free kick, and the Wildcats fumbled it. And so the Wildcat defense, which has been so good all season long, has got to rise to the occasion once again. Wildcats have Price Davis in the secondary. The Wildcats have Brandon Hayward, Elijah Rogers. See who the safety is for the Wildcats. Might be Izzy. Looks like it might be. Here comes Dobyns-Bennet. Second down, a long 8 to go for a first. Receivers left and right. Quarterback Carson the pass. Cross the way pass is caught in the flat. Wildcats make the stop. It's shy of a first down by about a yard. Let's see if he changes the spot. They spot him down at the 28-yard line. One of the Indians a little slow to get up. There was a big pop, big collision with Brian Kelly and one of the Indians, and we've got an injury timeout once again. 11:02 to play in the ballgame. Oak Ridge and Dobyns-Bennet in an exciting one here. The Wildcats down 14-12 while they attend to the injured Indian, I believe. We'll take a quick break. We'll send it back to Brian. We'll be back to Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, 14-12. Dobyns-Bennet on top, back in 30 seconds. Applause for the injured Indian who comes off the field. That's Gillespie, 5'9", 155-pounder. They are 1 yard short of a first down. It is third down, a yard to go. Ball is resting at the Oak Ridge 20, around the 28-yard line. They need to get to the 27 for a first. They'll come with a straight I formation. The quarterback, Carson, is under center. They need a yard. He hands it off, and Brian Kelly hits him, but not before they pick up the first down. First down for Kingsport. Straight I formation. Don't see that very often anymore. I think Tennessee came out in a little bit of an I formation on Saturday in that big win over Alabama. Myers on the carry there for the Indians. We're down to 10:43 to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge down 14-12. Defense has shut them out here since the opening seconds of the second quarter. Carson trying to get back on the board. Dobyns-Bennet back on the board in a 2-point game, 14-12. Carson hands it off to the running back, and he's got good running room, 25-20. Hand tackle. He goes to the 3, to the 2, to the 1. Is that a touchdown? Yes. Touchdown, Kingsport, Dobyns-Bennet. Nice run. Ran through a couple arm tackles, and the Indians are back on top by 8. 20-12 our score. 10 minutes and 15 seconds to play. So Kingsport scores, so the Wildcats fumble the kick. With momentum on their side, and Dobyns-Bennet, like good teams do, take advantage of the Wildcats' turnover, and they march it down the field. They got a penalty, a big personal foul penalty that didn't go their favor. Kick is on its way. It's up. The kick is up, and it's good. Wildcats are down 2 scores again. Wildcats trail it 21-12, 10:15 to play. We'll be back with the Dobyns-Bennet kickoff in 60 seconds. David Clary back here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. The Wildcats now trailing 21-12, 10:15 to play. So the Indians take advantage of that unfortunate turnover by the Wildcats. After the Wildcats had pulled to within 2 at 14-12 and we're getting the ball. The Wildcats can overcome it. They've played well tonight to this point. Here's the kick by Dobyns-Bennet. It's end over end. That's going to be a touchback. Goes sailing into the end zone. Wildcats have had a lot of success getting on the edges offensively. They've gotten a little pass interference help from the Indian secondary as well. Guy Hunley's been the main guy today. We'll have the final stats at the conclusion of the game. Mark and Shauna Haste will do that for us. Wildcats down 2 scores again. 21-12 the score. Lots of time, though. Kingsport has used all of their timeouts. Wildcats have 2 remaining, but Kingsport has none. So if it comes down to something like that, you know, Kingsport has used all their timeouts. Let's just get back in the ball game quickly here and play a little defense. Here comes Ethan Garza back out at quarterback for the Wildcats with 1 lone running back behind him. 3 receivers to the right. Dozier is in motion. Fires a pass out to him. He catches it on a run, but no place to go except down. Dozier having a little trouble getting a little traction going in this one. He might have gotten the yard. It's 2nd down and 9. Kind of telegraphed that a little bit as Dozier went in motion over towards the Oak Ridge sideline, and everybody in a maroon jersey flowed to that direction, and Jarvis had no real place to go. It's a gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9 yards to go. 9:48 to play in the ball game. The Wildcats down 2 scores. Can't take too much time here. Got to be a sense of urgency here. There's still a lot of time, but you can't just milk the clock down. Wildcats are going to hand it off. Once again, nothing. Jarvis goes down in the backfield. He cannot get any traction here. And like I said, you got to have now a sense of urgency. It is a loss of 2 on the play. It's 3rd down and 12. They have keyed on to Jarvis, and he had no place to go. Now the Wildcats got to come up with a big 3rd down play. A little conservative right there. Wildcats now have 3 receivers splitting to the right side. The Wildcats need to get up to the 30-yard line for a first. They're behind the sticks at the 19-yard line. Ethan facing a 4-man front, is going to pass it. Across the way, Brandon Hayward with the intended receiver. It's incomplete. The Wildcats will be forced to punt. It wasn't going to be a first down anyway. Not a good series of offense there for the Wildcats. Not a good series at all for the Wildcats. And Oak Ridge is going to have to punt the ball away. So you thought they might come out and try to, kind of spread the field a little bit that time, but because they're down 2 scores. 8 minutes, 58 seconds to play, and the Wildcats will be forced to punt. Brennan Pearson has had some short punts tonight here. He's been injured all week, did not practice. His 4th and 11. A roughing would be good right here. Gets the punt away. High, long, spiraling kick. Might have outkicked his coverage a little bit. There can return it. Wildcats have a lot of white shirts around him. Good coverage. The Wildcats drop him right at the 44-yard line. Good punt by Brennan Pearson. And the stops are made on the field there by perhaps Terrence Anthony, Vashawn Knowles. And the Wildcats back on defense here, down 2 scores, 21-12. Not a good series of offense for the Wildcats just a moment ago. Now let's hope the Wildcat defense can get some quick stops here. You would guess that Dobyns-Bennet would want to milk the clock a little bit, like we were doing that last drive. 8:48 to play in the ball game. 21-12 the score. Carson, 6'6" quarterback for the Indians. 3 receivers to his right. Now one comes in motion. Handoff to the running back. And they have found a lot of success running up the middle. That's about a 5 or 6 yard gain right there. They have really done a good job right up the gut against the Wildcats. Number 53 makes the stop, and I guess that might be Elijah Bradley. Elijah has worn more different uniforms this year. That's a gain of 8, actually. He's wearing 53 right now. He's worn 19. He's worn 91. And I believe that's him in 53. Just by his body type, it looks like Elijah Bradley. It'll be second down, 2 yards to go. The ball at the 48. Carson will drop back to pass. Goes across the way. Man is wide open. He can't make the catch, though. Wildcats had a little trouble defending. We got a flag down in the middle part of the field. Usually there it's holding against the defense or pass interference. It's going to be holding against Oak Ridge. Ball was not going in that direction, but it was holding against Oak Ridge. It was away from the ball. I didn't see it, honestly, so I can't tell you whether it was good or bad. But it's a big call against the Wildcats.
Hold. Defense.
We're down 21-12 right now with 8:03 to play. I go back to that series of offense where the Wildcats just couldn't get it going there. A couple bad plays, some lost yardage plays, and back on defense. Let's see, out of the game looks like Porter comes out of the game. Back in will come Brandon Hayward. Izzy's in the ball game. I think that's 8. We're a long ways up here. We're on the 4th level here. It'll be Dobyns-Bennet. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the Oak Ridge 38-yard line. Carson pumps once, fires a pass in the flats, and Terrence Anthony and Tyler Pickens are there to make the stop. With kind of a delayed whistle. They're going to give us forward progress up to the 34-yard line. That's a gain of 4, and the clock is ticking down here. They're milking the clock here. 7:44 to play in the ball game. 21-12. Wildcats had momentum. It was 14-12. And the Wildcats have seen Dobyns-Bennet score a really big touchdown, and they're driving again. They've got the ball at the 34-yard line of the Wildcats. 7:28 to play. Next week, we're in Campbell County. Big region ball game. The Wildcats with a win will be hosting a first-round playoff game, I think against Ray County. You don't want to lose to Campbell County. That'll be next week, 7 o'clock kickoff. Here's a handoff to the back and no place. He goes down. Wildcats stop him hard. I think that was Terrence Anthony.
On the carries.
Ryan Kelly, number 33, was around the play as well. No gain on the play. Third down, 5 yards to go. We're now under 7 minutes to go in the ballgame. The Wildcats are down 2 scores. I mentioned no sense of urgency. Well, I'm not going to say no sense of urgency, but they needed more of a sense of urgency on their previous drive because now the time is not in their favor. They do have their 2 timeouts. It is third down, 5 yards to go. Ball is at the 33-yard line. Maybe the play of the game right here. They're in 4-down territory, I would assume, but might be the play of the game right here. The Wildcats need to stop. Third down, 5 yards to go. Here comes Oak Ridge's pressure. Pass is going to be intercepted by the Wildcats. Is it an interception? Is it? I believe it is. The Wildcats have picked off a pass and come up with a big defensive play. The Wildcats got pressure around the end, and then somebody, it might have been Brandon Hayward, I'm not sure, somebody scooped the ball up off the turf here, and just like that, the Wildcats have an opportunity, and they've got to do something with it. The ball is at the 26-yard line. They'll take over 1st and 10. The play clock is moving. Oak Ridge is still in their huddle on the Oak Ridge sideline. 20 seconds, 19 seconds. Here they come to the line. First down, 10 yards to go, 6:27 to play. They're showing a replay up on the Jumbotron, and I don't think he caught it. But the official had his back turned to it. We'll take it. First down, 10 yards to go. You got to get a break here and there from now on. And Wildcats let the play clock tick down, and Coach Cummings has to call a timeout. Well, they spent a lot of time over there in the huddle, and Ethan needs to be aware of the clock, but they spent a ton of time huddling on the Oak Ridge sideline, so they have to spend their second timeout here. 6:27 to play. And the Wildcats will have it first down and 10 yards to go. Big defensive play, but the Wildcats have got to make something of it here. They're down 21-12. Wildcats need to strike quickly right here. I know that their bread and butter is the ground game. But they've got good receivers. They got a good quarterback. He's thrown for a lot of yards since he's taken over for Peyton Sharp, who I think might get a chance to at least start practicing next week before the Campbell County game. I haven't talked to him in a couple days. But the Wildcats do have depth now. Quarterback is Ethan. Really, I think this is his fourth, maybe his fifth start now since Peyton got hurt. First and 10 Wildcats. Need a big play. Need to score quick. 6:27 to play. Garza first down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at the 25-yard line. Brandon Hayward comes in motion. Garza back to pass. Goes deep. Passes up for grabs. Pass is intercepted, but there are flags down. There is a flag down. It was underthrown that time. Ethan's pass was underthrown. Let's see what this one is. There is a flag down in the secondary, and Dobyns-Bennet's not celebrating. They are not celebrating right now. We'll see. The official up here near the Oak Ridge sideline is just standing there. And I don't know if Brandon got interfered with. I haven't seen the signal officially from the old guy in the white hat. He's going to come over to the home side. They've got him mic'd up like they do in the big-time ball games.
Fouls on the play. One on each team.
There's personal foul, holding against Dobyns-Bennett. Ineligible receiver against Oak Ridge. Play is going to offset, so we'll live to play another day. You can listen to the Dobyns-Bennett crowd. You can listen to the Oak Ridge crowd. Neither side happy with this officiating. Neither side. It is going to be first and 10 Oak Ridge. Offsetting penalties. Ball's at the 26-yard line. 6:19 to play in the ball game. Wildcats down 21-12. It'll be Garza. That last pass was underthrown. They're lucky that it was a holding penalty on Dobyns-Bennett. Might have been on the receiver, Brandon Hayward, but it was an underthrown pass, and Ethan will need to put a little bit more oomph on it the next time. First down, 10 yards to go. They're showing blitz. Ethan rolls, looks, fires a pass, complete at the 30-yard line by Elijah Rogers. I think the Dobyns-Bennett defensive back thought he had a pick six, but Elijah somehow picks up a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down. Stops the clock with 6:07 to play. Now the clock is wound. The Wildcats have it at the 37-yard line of Oak Ridge. Down 21-12. Wildcats substituting Presley out of the game. Wildcats have got to go with a sense of urgency here. They're still getting players in and out of the game. Rogers is going to come out of the ball game. Play clock is down to 14. We're down 2 scores, and we're waiting for the play to get in. We're down to 9 seconds. The Wildcats have it at the 37-yard line. Play clock is down to 4, 3, 2. Handoff goes running back. The Wildcats move the ball to the 41-yard line, and that's where he's tackled. It's a gain of only 3. 5:35 to play in the ball game. DeJavis Dozier on the carry for the Wildcats. It'll be second down and 5 yards to go. 5:25 and counting. The Wildcats trailing 21-12. They need a quick strike here. They don't have any timeouts left, but we only have one. We need to score quickly. We can't really afford to carry the ball much more. I know you hope for DeJavis to get free or Jai to get free. We got to do it through the air here. Second down and 6 yards to go. The ball is at the 41-yard line of Oak Ridge. Ethan Garza will hand it off once again. 40, 45, 50. I'm wrong. They're going to throw a flag. It's going to be Dozier running to the 10, to the 5, to the 3, but they're going to call a hold or something against Oak Ridge, and that's going to bring back a great run and a great play. We've seen it all night. It was behind the play, and this one might be, by the looks of it, our linemen did something they shouldn't have done. You just don't make those kind of plays behind the play. It is holding against Oak Ridge. We've had that happen to us all season long. And up here, we haven't had that bad of a call. Well, I'm not saying it's a bad call, but we haven't had that kind of a call since the first quarter. It is holding.
Number 19.
They're going to call it on Pendergrass. That's a receiver. They're going to call it on him. He can't believe he did it. He's upset. That would have been first and goal, Oak Ridge. DeJavis Dozier, what a great run there. And here I was saying we can't run the ball anymore. He just broke one off for about 50 yards. But unfortunately, we're going to have a holding penalty. It's way up the field. So it's not a huge penalty. And there's another flag resting down at the 40. And I'm not sure what this is. We might have an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Oak Ridge team. Oh, wow. You can't do that. Somebody on our sideline must have said something, and you just can't have that happen. You're trailing in the ball game. You got to keep your mouth shut. I don't know what was said. I don't know what it was, but it's unsportsmanlike conduct on the Oak Ridge sideline. I see the official over talking with, looks like Vonce Henderson, perhaps maybe Robert Ayers, whatever it was. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is second down and about 25 yards to go now. Wildcats going backwards here. They would have had it first and goal at the 5-yard line. Two receivers split to the right for Ethan Garza. Ball's now at the 21-yard line, 21-12 the score. Clock moving, 4:48 to play. Quick strike here. Garza back to pass. Pressured. Fires a pass. Incomplete. Intending it for Brian Kelly. Stops the clock with 4:40. That was going to be a pick six. Tough throw there for Ethan. He had to throw it. And we have another penalty against the Wildcats. Wow. Tomahawk chop. But they're pointing at Truett Techs. I'm not sure exactly what they're called. Can't hold. Personal foul, Oak Ridge, face mask against the Wildcats. So that's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, a face mask. The wheels are falling off here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. Wildcats going backwards. Had a great opportunity. They put the ball down at the 22-yard line. It'll be now. It's so far, they don't even have it up on the scoreboard what it is. Doing the math quickly, it is third down and about 30 or so. They need to get up to the 47-yard line. That was a dead ball foul on the unsportsmanlike conduct. Garza to pass. Got to throw it deep. Oh, what a catch. Great catch, but he's out of bounds. Great effort there by DeJavis Dozier. Great effort. But that would have been 15 or 20 yards short of a first down. The Wildcats had somebody busting free. It was Will Presley. He was wide open in the middle part of the field. We're going to punt it, but if we punt it, we're going to lose. 4:17 to play in the ball game. The Wildcats down 21-12. We only have one timeout. Pearson's going to come in unless they have some kind of a, nice fake punt. There's only 4:17 to play in the ball game. We really needed to go for it. It was going to be a long distance. Here's the punt. Hope for a fumble. Fair catch is made at the 39-yard line, and that is where Dobyns-Bennet will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. Unsportsmanlike conduct, face mask, and just kills the drive. Might have killed the game. Wildcats down 21-12, 4 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the ball game here. The Wildcats playing Campbell County next week. It's a region ball game, much more important than this one, but this is a prideful ball game. The series is tied at 22 games apiece. And Dobyns-Bennet can take the lead here if they can hold on. And they're up 2 scores, and there's only 4:10 to play in the ball game. Wildcats, couple big mistakes in this game. I can count several penalties that hurt them, whether they were penalties or not. The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is unacceptable on the Oak Ridge sideline. It was a dead ball foul. It was after the play was getting ready to start. As Carson's going to hand it off to the running back, and he runs into a mess of Wildcats. And we're down to 4 minutes to play in the ball game. It'll be second down and 9 yards to go. We're down 2 scores here. 21-12 is our score. We're broadcasting on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. We're also on prepradio.com and Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. 3:44 to play. Second down, we'll call it 8 yards to go. The ball's at the 42-yard line. Quarterback for them, number 13, Jake Carson. He'll milk the clock. 7 seconds on the play clock. Second down, 8 yards to go. Carson hands it off to the running back, and he's got a first down, and that's going to ice it. We can only stop it one time. That's what I'm saying. We were down 2 scores, and we were going to have to get 2 stops. And now they've got it. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball's at the 46-yard line. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the ball game. The Wildcats will fall to 4-5 on the year unless in the next 3 minutes and 8 seconds we can do something. So it's kind of those penalties on the sidelines, just terrible. Can't happen. Ball's at the 46-yard line, 2:57 to play. First down and 10 yards to go. They'll come from the I formation here. We'll have the final statistics at the end of the game. Hand off to the back, and he's hit and dropped by Brian Kelly and one other Wildcat for Oak Ridge. I think that's LaMichael Galloway. Gain of a yard. And when do you use that final timeout? You can't stop. I mean, you have to use your timeouts on defense because you can always stop it on offense. I guess we're just conceding. 2 minutes, 28 seconds to play. The ball's at the 45-yard line. It's second down and 9 yards to go. Only one timeout remaining. Dobyns-Bennet has none. 2:18 to play. Play clock is down to 10. Second down and 9 yards to go. Single receiver to the right. I formation for Carson. Second down, 9 yards to go. Quarterback hands it to the back, and he squirts forward for a gain of about 3, and now the Wildcats will stop the clock. Tried to stop the clock with 2:01 to play. The ball carrier was Peyton Brooks, 5'10", 182-pounder. Timeout Oak Ridge, their final one of the night. 2:01 to play, 21-12 our score. When we come back, it'll be third down and about 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
That's their third and final timeout of the half.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet High School. The Wildcats trailing 21-12. Oak Ridge will play Campbell County next week in a big region ball game. As I mentioned, if the Wildcats can win next week, they'll host a playoff ball game, I think, against the Ray County Golden Eagles 2 weeks from tonight at Blankenship Field. They're in the playoffs. We're going to be playing somewhere, either at Blankenship Field or elsewhere. Third and 11, hand off to the running back. He looks for a hole. He didn't get a first down. It's going to be fourth down and about 2, but unfortunately, there's only a minute 53 left in the ball game. They have it at the Oak Ridge 39-yard line. Fourth down and 3 yards to go. Ball is at the 39. They can milk it on down. Play clock is at 25. The game clock is at 1:37, so they can get the play off. It's fourth and about 3. The most important part of it, the Wildcats got to stop them right here to have any chance to get the ball back. It's at the 39-yard line of Oak Ridge. Carson trying to get Oak Ridge to jump off sides. Play clock is down to 4, 3, 2, and they're going to take a timeout here. And they don't have a timeout. They just have to take a penalty. It's going to be a penalty at 1:12 to play, and that's okay. It's a 5-yard step off. Delay a game called against them. It'll be fourth down and long. The Wildcats will get the ball back. We need a stellar punt return by Brandon Hayward. He's going to stand back at around the goal line here. Nice to see him taking about 95 yards. They're going to punt. Fourth down and 8 yards to go. 1:12 to play. Neither team has any timeouts remaining. Brandon standing back at the 10-yard line. Fourth down, 8 yards to go. The Wildcats almost got another guy on the field. They might not have enough guys. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yeah, they have 11. High snap. It's over his head. They're going to get the punt off, though. It's going to be a wobbly kick fielded by Oak Ridge. The Wildcats have it at the 40, and they drive him out of bounds. The return man for the Wildcats is Izzy Mitchell. He caught that on a dead run. So a little life to the Cardinal and Gray here. Izzy, a great return. And the snap was bad the second time. They had a safety earlier. Let's see what the Wildcats can do. The Wildcats will have it at their own 42-yard line. 1:03 to play. No timeouts remaining. You score right here. If you get an onside kick, who knows? Anything could happen. It's high school football. It's a great rivalry ball game. Let's see what the Wildcats can do. Wildcats will put receivers to the right. That's 2 of them. Will Presley, receiver to the left. Wildcats have Elmani, Rimbert, and Dozier in the backfield to give Ethan a little chance to block. He's going to drop back to pass, crank it across the way. Pass is dropped. That was dropped by Brandon Hayward. hit him in the hands. It's incomplete. Second down 10, 58.5 seconds to play. 21-12, the Wildcats trailing Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet. Some of the fans electing to head on out of the stadium here. Oak Ridge quarterback Ethan Garza, play clock down to 20, has the play from Coach Scott Cummings. Wildcats in danger of falling to 4-5 on the year, with Campbell County to play next week. Two receivers to the right. Garza to pass. Pressured. With block that time. Garza's running for his life. Fires and passes. Nobody there. And there's a flag down. Almonte's got to do a better job. He didn't block the guy that was coming in on Garza, and that forced the play to go bad. And they're going to call holding against Dobyns-Bennet. So with 51.7 seconds to play in the ball game, that's going to help Oak Ridge. They're going to give a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down inside the Indian territory at the 48-yard line. We've had so much holding in this game. 51.7 seconds to play. 21-12, the Wildcats trailing. Play clock. Reset at 40. Garza's got time. 51.7 seconds. Got to do better blocking for Ethan, though. He almost got sacked back there. First down 10 at the 48. Garza straight drop. Rolls to his right. Looks to pass. Passes up for grabs. That's going to be easily intercepted. And he'll slide forward. And we might have a personal foul right there. It comes from the farthest official. There's officials closer to it. Wildcats, he did go into a slide, then the Wildcats popped him. And the Oak Ridge fans don't like it, but, I mean, it was a late hit. But what I don't like about it is the farthest official away made the call. I think it is a correct call, though. So it's personal foul against Oak Ridge. We've seen a lot of those here down the stretch. 41.6 seconds, and all they have to do is take a knee, and this one will be over. So the Wildcats are going to lose for the fourth consecutive time to Dobyns-Bennet. Wildcats were in a ball game. It was 14-12. All the momentum was on the side of the Wildcats. All the momentum. They were getting a free kick. They were getting the ball back. Unfortunately, the Wildcats turned the ball over. And then, boom, down the field, Dobyns-Bennet scores a touchdown. And the Wildcats have been able to move the ball, but penalties, some unsportsmanlike calls, some late hits, things like that have really hurt the Wildcats. And they're going to take a knee here with 41.6 seconds. The victory formation of the Wildcats are going to fall to 4-5 on the year, with an opportunity still to host a home playoff ball game. This is a school with 2,700 students. Dobyns-Bennet defeats Oak Ridge by a final score of 21-12. The two teams are massing at the 50-yard line, and they're going to shake hands with one another. It's a classy rivalry, although we didn't look as classy as we should have tonight with the unsportsmanlike conduct calls against us, but it is still a classy rivalry between two very classy cities, two very academically sound high schools, just two good fan bases who love their high school football teams, and unfortunately, if you're a Wildcat fan, this is not going our way. The Wildcats defeated by a final score of 21-12 here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet, and here come the fans out on the field here to the left side, right over towards the Dobyns-Bennet band. They must have some kind of tradition where they dance and sing to the band, and before they go to congratulate the winning team, the Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet Indians. Wildcats defeated by a final score of 21-12. We're going to take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll come back. We'll have stats. We'll have the scoring summary, and we'll talk about this loss. 21-12 our score. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Welcome back to Dobyns-Bennet High School here in Kingsport as the Oak Ridge Wildcats fall to the Dobyns-Bennet Indians by a final score of 21-12. I'm Lee Wexler here as David Clary, who was the solo broadcasting tonight, has gone down to the field to get our post-game interviews. And as the Wildcats are listening to their post-game speech by head coach Scott Cummings, David is on his way down to the field. It was a close game there for a while, a little back and forth. Dobyns-Bennet, they were 8-0 going into this game, and now they are 9-0, one of the top teams in 6A. And Oak Ridge, Oak Ridge gave it their all, and penalties really hurt the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge couldn't take advantage of a safety there late in the game, and Dobyns-Bennet was able to eat the clock and get on the board and just take this game away. Final score 21-12, as Coach Scott Cummings is still talking with his team, and while he's doing that, as we're waiting for David to get down on the field, we can run over some scores here. Looks like Jeff Miner, former Oak Ridge coach, has gathered his first win as a Hardin Valley Hawk. Hardin Valley winning 42-25 over William Blunt. Anderson County up 35-28 over Bearden. Farragut taking care of Fulton 63-24. Central defeated Halls 21-16. Campbell County knocking off Sevier County 48-45. West taking down Maryville 31-18. That game was at West, so Maryville 6-3 record. Clinton beating Gibbs 28-26, and those are just a few scores I've got here. Also, Lenore City knocking off Heritage 38-21, as looks like Scott Cummings has finished up the post-game talk with his team, and I'm going to send it down to the field level with David Clary right now.
Every time we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, we do a lot of great things. That's a quality game versus a big 6A school, that's 8-1. So I think we showed we can play with anybody. But we gotta, there was a lot of, honest to goodness, really ticky-tack things tonight. I'm just going, I hate to say that, but there was. There's a lot of ticky-tack things that we just, every time we get a big play, it's coming back. Now, I think it did go both ways some, but man, we're so close. We are so close. We just got to get better Monday, and next week is for a home playoff game, and we gotta come out ready to go Monday and go out and enforce our will on Campbell County and get this home playoff game, and I think we can make a run. I really do.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the people up there. They were asking me how we were doing in our region. I said we've done great in our region here against the 6A schools like you all. We've suffered our losses, but you played them toe-to-toe in this one. Like you said, you had an opportunity to win this ball game.
Yeah, for sure. You just would like to know what would happen after that free kick. If we get the ball at midfield and we got momentum, but all we can do is get better. And come together even more.
Coach, I'm going to let you go here.
Thank you, buddy.
Coach Scott Cummings, head coach of the Wildcats. We're down here at Kingsport Dobyns-Bennet Field. We're going to send it right back up to Lee Wexler. We'll go back up to you.
Marquez back here at Dobyns-Bennet High School, where Oak Ridge falls to Dobyns-Bennet tonight by a final score of, I think it was 28-12 or 29-12. Okay, looking at the statistics for the ball game, actually, it was the final score 21-12. Final statistics first for Oak Ridge. They were led on the ground by Jai Hunley. He had 105 yards on 10 carries. DeJovis Dozier carried the ball 12 times, totaling 39 yards on the ground. Ethan Garza, quarterback for the Wildcats, 2 carries, 9 yards. Elijah Rogers had 2 carries for 7 yards, and Almani Rembert had 1 carry for -1 yard. So as a team, the Wildcats rushed the ball 27 times, gaining 159 yards on the ground. Through the air, quarterback for the Wildcats, Ethan Garza. He was 13 of 34 for 115 with 1 interception. Receiving for the Wildcats, they were led by Elijah Rogers. He had 2 receptions for 41 yards. Brandon Hayward, 29 yards receiving on 3 receptions. Brian Kelly had 2 receptions for 24 yards. Jai Hunley, 4 receptions for 11 yards. Connor Cummings had a 9-yard reception, and Jovis Dozier had a 1-yard reception. So as a team, the Wildcats had 159 yards on the ground on 27 carries. They had 115 yards on 13 receptions for a total offense tonight of 274 yards. Wildcats had 15 first downs in the ballgame, 15 penalties for 137 yards. Now looking at Dobyns-Bennet, they were led on the ground by Peyton Franklin. He had 49 yards on 11 carries. Braden Simpson had 45 yards on 12 carries. Peyton Brooks, 31 yards on 6 carries. Andrew Myers, 16 yards on 3 carries. Jake Carson, quarterback for the Indians, 1 carry for -7. And then Will Hurd, he had 1 carry for -13 yards. So as a team, the Indians rushed the ball 34 times, totaling 121 yards on the ground. That's an average of 3.6 yards per carry. Quarterback for the Indians, Jake Carson, he was 8 of 19 for 195 yards. He also had an interception on the night. Receiving for the Indians, they were led by Hayden Russell. He had a 70-yard touchdown reception. Peyton Franklin had a 54-yard reception for a touchdown. Jonathan Gillespie had 3 receptions for 50 yards. Keldon Mullins, 1 reception for 11 yards. And Dakari Nixon had 2 receptions, totaling 10 yards. So as a team, the Dobyns-Bennet Indians had 121 yards on the ground on 34 carries. They had 195 yards on 8 receptions through the air for a total offense tonight of 316 yards. Indians had 12 first downs in the ballgame. They were penalized 15 times for 135 yards. So looking at the team side by side, rushing yards, Oak Ridge 159 on 27 carries. Dobyns-Bennet 121 on 34 carries. Through the air, Oak Ridge had 115 yards. Dobyns-Bennet 195 for a total offense. Oak Ridge with 274 total offensive yards. Dobyns-Bennet 316. First downs, Oak Ridge had 15. Dobyns-Bennet 12. Penalties, each team had 15 penalties. Oak Ridge had 137 penalty yards. Dobyns-Bennet 135 yards. So looking quickly, if I can, at the time of possession, Oak Ridge had the ball 26 minutes and 6 seconds. Dobyns-Bennet 21:54. Again, this is actually, let's do a scoring summary here, if I can get my pages organized here. Dobyns-Bennet scored first in the first quarter, or rather second quarter, with 10:54 remaining on the clock in the first half on a 70-yard touchdown pass by Jake Carson to Hayden Russell. Point after attempt by Titan Thomas was good, and Dobyns-Bennet took a 7-0 lead. That series took Dobyns-Bennet 2 plays, 72 yards, and took 49 seconds off the clock. Later in the first half, with 3:41 remaining in the second quarter, 54-yard touchdown pass from Jake Carson to Peyton Franklin. Point after attempt by Titan Thomas was good. They led at that point by 14-0. That series took 8 plays, 72 yards, and 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Next, Oak Ridge, right before the half, they got on the board with a 32-yard field goal by David Wilson. That was with no time on the clock. So at the half, Oak Ridge trailed 14-3. In the third quarter, with 8:32 on the clock, a 1-yard run by Jai Hunley. Point after attempt by David Wilson was good, and Oak Ridge narrows the lead 14-10. That series for the Wildcats, 7 plays, 47 yards, 1 minute and 39 seconds. In the fourth quarter, actually late in the third quarter, Oak Ridge gets another 2 points on a safety on a high snap on the punter. So Oak Ridge cuts the lead yet again, 14-12 now. So Oak Ridge got within 2 points just before the end of the third quarter. Oak Ridge takes the ensuing kickoff, and they fumble it right back to Dobyns-Bennet. And then shortly thereafter with 10 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock in the fourth quarter. 26-yard run by Peyton Franklin. And the point after attempt by Titan Thomas being good, the Dobyns-Bennet Indians take the lead 21-12. So that's the final score tonight. Oak Ridge loses 21-12 to Dobyns-Bennet.